All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the Guardians Warrior playthrough. Today we are all about chasing down that Dwemer gear. Fortius is about to make a transition from his steel phase to his Dwarven phase. That doesn't mean he's going to get like all short and stout and, grouchy or anything. He's still going to be a person. He's still going to be a human. But no, he's about to make a major transition, and a big part of the roleplay for this series, for the warrior, I think, is tapping into that smithing tree. And whenever he gets a new perk and a new material type, he's going to take on maybe some of the personality characteristics of that material type. So yeah, iron and steel are a little, kind of ubiquitous, but the Dwarven, Orcish, the Nordic plate stuff, you can start taking on the personality and roleplay aspects of, the Dwemer, who were, very science-oriented and logic-oriented, the Orcs, who were very battle-hungry and just brutal in combat, and the Nords, who were, pretty much the same as the Orcs, except more attuned to honor and glory, So there's that. We're going to be going into our Dwarven phase very soon, but to do that, we are here in Markarth. I just picked up the quest for the alternate armor, the Dwarven plate. So that's going to take us to Reachwind Eyrie? I don't know how to say that word. Anybody in chat can help me out with that, I would be grateful. Yeah, there's also an interesting NPC's character there, so he might have already taken care of all these bandits or treasure hunters for us. Anyway, this is kind of just a little bit of a cross-country jaunt for us, which is fine. We don't need to do this right now, though. We still need to gather up some materials, which is what this Lost Expedition is all about. This is going to take us deep into, I think it's in Chuenzel, the Dwarven ruin that lies within Markarth, the big mountain in Markarth. And this will take us through a big winding dungeon, and we should be able to get lots of Dwarven scrap from this that we can convert into Dwarven ingots, right? And we can use those Dwarven ingots to smith up the weapons and to temper the armor that we get from the Mightier Than the Sword quest over here. Yeah, so we'll be doing that. I also do have a lot more enchantments and everything that I did before. Speaking of enchantments, I did enchant my weapons and shield. I'm still wearing the Steel Soldier armor, the enchanted stuff from the perk that you get for that creation. But I did enchant my Spring Steel bow with, I think this is called like the Fatigue. Maybe it's not Fatigue. I think that's a normal enchantment name. But yeah, I did enchant this with this is a Summer Mist enchantment. Prevents magicka and stamina regeneration for 5 seconds. So as long as I keep this applied, they're not going to be able to regenerate their stamina or their magicka. So this is good against mages and warriors, because with Wildcat, stamina management is very important. And if they can't restore their stamina, then they're pretty much dead in the water. So that's good. On the broadsword that we have here, I put Stacking Poison. This is a new enchantment from the latest Winter Sun update. There were damage and disease enchantments, but they weren't explicitly stacking. So this does 2 points of damage for 10 seconds, but that stacks as many times as you want. So this quickly becomes, just a big ol' health drain real soon, pretty much at all levels. The faster you can attack with this thing, the more stacking poison you're going to do. And then on the spear, I put drain armor. So this reduces armor by 83 points for 10 seconds. This doesn't say that it stacks explicitly, but still an 83 point hit to armor is kind of deadly. And as long as you can keep pumping them full of that for 10 seconds, this is just further weakens the character. So the tactics and the strategies that I'm running with here is we have the bow, which is going to prevent regeneration of these combat resources. We're going to start off with that. So right away they can't restore health or magicka for a few seconds, and then I can switch to the steel, which reduces armor for 10 seconds, and then we get in there with the broadsword and start poisoning them. And it's very efficient. It's very, very efficient. And then on the shield, I put on the chromatic. What do they call it? I don't remember what they call it. It's a reactive barrier. So whenever we get struck by a certain element, we become resistant to that element for a few seconds. And right now, I don't have any perks or anything in enchanting. And in fact, I'm never going to have perks in enchanting. But we're about level 50 or so in enchanting. So the enchantments, some of these enchantments are kind of weak. Some of them are strong. And I did do a better job of balancing in this latest patch for Summer Mist. Hey, James, welcome, buddy. Hope you're doing well. How are the audio levels and everything? I'm live, right? It's just, I haven't seen anybody talking yet, which is fine. It's just people are going to filter in, but yeah, I just want to make sure everything technically is working fine. And then on the cape, I put, I don't remember what the name of this enchantment is either, but I get a 3% chance per second to restore 31 points of health, magicka, and stamina. So all of those individually, great to have. 3% chance per second, the more the seconds tick off, the better chance you have of restoring your... Yep, all fine, good, thank you. So yeah, this is good for longevity in combat. So that is a rundown of the gear we have for this character. We are going to switch everything out to Dwarven plate, I think hopefully by the end of this stream. So we got to go do the quest to get the enchanted Dwarven plate armor from Reachwind Eyrie, which is just it's kind of more of a cross-country trek than it is a dungeon dive. But I do want to do Lost Expedition while I'm here. This could take a little while, so I'm hoping that doesn't cut into everything of the whole stream. But then I also want to do Unfathomable Depths. This gives you a big boost to your tempering ability for dwarven gear, and that's over in the Reach. All right, so we got lots to do, lots of action, lots of combat today. Should be a good time. Let's do this. We'll while the hours away here. We'll get started fresh, bright, and early in the morning tomorrow.
Frobby, our customer needs
we'll
a
get
drink.
some dinner and some wine from Frobby here. Miss Congeniality.
Depends. Are you thirsty, hungry?
Loving wife
both?
of her husband, what's his name? All right, what kind of wine? She's got the generic stuff. We'll take that wine. A venison chop sounds good. And some grilled leeks. There we go. Could better because cold flu included with some bronchitis effects, so lots of brutal coughs that hurt my... Oh man, I'm sorry about that. Hope it gets better soon. Wishing you a speedy recovery.
I should remind Klepper to clean this place up.
Okay, so I'm going to wait about 6 hours. That'll put us at 10:39 p.m. Nearly done, I hope. Yeah. Do you feel like it's getting better at all, or do you think the worst is behind you, or what do you think? Oh, this guy's got some jacked up eyes.
An inn. Where are we sleeping? And more importantly, what are we eating?
Well, you can eat whatever you want, Gore, but I'm having a venison chop with some grilled leeks and some village red wine. How about that? Got a bunch of fish and stuff too that I need to figure out what to do with. Been doing the fishing quest lines off stream. I don't think anybody wants to watch anybody do that live, so been relegating that for off stream. Hope you don't mind. Grilled leeks, and we'll have some of that village red wine. There we go. Feeling well sated, not thirsty. All right. Let's go get some rest. Been through the worst of it, but I will have chesty cough for a while, though. Yeah, the lingering cough is sometimes the worst, and then sometimes you lose your voice. Oh, I never actually bought the room.
This is the Silver Blood Inn. I'll let you figure out who owns it by yourself.
Not looking for work yet. Don't care about the rumors yet.
Ah, yes. Here, take a look at this.
Gonna take the rumors. Yeah, Reachwind Eyrie. This is added from interesting NPCs. That quest just leads you to the guy who thinks he's Dragonborn, the Argonian, in that tower.
Perhaps you come over later and show me how you make that delightful.
Let's see. Or not Dragonborn. He thinks he's Dwemerborn. Let's see. Like to rent a room, please.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
So if I'm going all the way out there, then I want to be able to kill two birds with one stone.
I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Yes.
You don't need to show me to the room, thanks.
I understand.
Did you make them yourself?
Wonderful little mod there that you don't have to wait for them to go all the way to your room. Helps with immersion and roleplay a little bit. Okay, we'll do we'll go 9 hours. That'll put us close to 8 o'clock. Calcelmo should be up and at 'em by then to let us into Inchuanzel.
But I did all the links.
Why do you always have to remember?
Adara bends the silver so much.
So Summer Games Fest, who paid any attention to that at all? I watched most of it. I think I saw most of the game reveals and release trailers and stuff like that. Pretty excited for some stuff. There's so much stuff that I can't even remember a lot of it.
Before the Forsworn took up arms again, and you could walk the roads.
But I thought that Assassin's Creed Shadows looked exceptionally well. It looked exceptionally good. I'm getting excited for that. I think that comes out like in November or something like that. Toward the end of the year. I can't believe we're getting that this year. The Star Wars game looks really good. Star Wars Outlaws. I hope that's better than Jedi Survivor. Jedi Survivor was good, but it was just plagued with technical issues.
Some of the guards back there were
Moderate thirst.
place is red.
We'll just go ahead and empty that out, get a refill on our water skin before we head in.
Had enough of that business.
This is the Silver Blood.
So I'm hoping that
I'll
that
let you
fills
figure out
my
who
itch
owns
for
it
a
by
good
yourself.
Star Wars game.
Of course. Remember, ale is cheaper than blood in
A lot of people got to preview that one too. They know it's a good game, so they're letting a lot of people play it early, which is a good sign. And people are saying that it's really, really good. So happy to start playing that. And we got a trailer for Starfield Shattered Space that looks interesting. So I am excited to learn more about the Varun. I'm hoping it's a long and winding quest line, but I'm really more interested in how they're expanding that game. I want more like points of interest. I would like to see expanded perks in the skill trees, like a rank 5 perks for every character, or every skill would be awesome, and just have it go a little bonkers with each one. I know Fallout 4 did kind of the same thing, so if they don't do it in this DLC, then they might do it as part of a free update, which I would be happy with. That's actually something that should be more of a free update anyway. Everybody should get all those expanded skills, not just the people who buy the DLC, I think. And then the June update came out for that game too, which was really good. I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet. I'm still working on my Steger build guide. About halfway through that. This work has been very crazy. I haven't been able to make as much progress in that as I would have liked. But I'm hoping I'm weathering the storm there. Recover Strom's journal. I think I have Strom's journal, don't I? Go find Strom's journal. Bring it back to... I don't have Strom's journal. Bring it back to Calcelmo.
Good to see you. I
Yeah.
bid you safe travels.
Calcelmo and I are bros at the moment because I hooked him up with Phaline his crush. He's got a little extra bounce to his step now. He's getting some extra snuggle time at night. Part reason annual flu vaccine helps because I'm high risk, but sim settlements 1 to 3. Yeah, the vaccines do help. I keep up with my yearly vaccines. I'm not high risk, but it's still, you know, with insurance and everything, I get them for free, so why not? I get sick much less frequently now, and when I do get sick, it's not even that harsh. I do keep up with the COVID vaccines too, and I've had COVID a couple times, and it's always been a non-problem for me, and I attribute that to the vaccines. Here we go. Already got that one. Okay. Of course, doing that and just, you know, staying healthy when you can, when you're not sick, you know, making sure you're taking care of yourself, all of that can help. Dwarven dagger, we don't really play around with daggers. Daggers are just mini swords. Why not just have the full-size sword if you're a warrior? Steger likes the daggers, especially the long ones that can double as a like a short sword, because he's more of an assassin type. He's an assassin that likes a dagger that he can use in open combat, but the warrior, he doesn't have to worry about stealth at all. So we're not gonna play with those knives. Those are child's toys to Fortius here. Fallout 4 mod quest really less than 2 gigabytes mod. I think around 80. Yeah, I've played Sim Settlements with the Sim Settlements Conquest or something like that. One of them allows you to, I think it's the one that allows you to take over different settlements and stuff. They also allow like auto build. So here. Okay. Aletheus. Yep, okay. So the dungeon dive begins. Yeah, I've played a lot of sim settlements, and I do like the one that allows the settlers to build the settlements for you. It's always fun going out on a foraging trip through the wasteland and then coming back to your settlement and seeing all the cool stuff that the settlers did around the place while you were gone. That's one of, if not my favorite mod for Fallout 4. King Ath, that guy is really good. He's got a paid mod for Skyrim SE, a creation, I guess they're calling it. It's kind of like a Conquests of Skyrim or something like that, where you take over. Okay, hold on. Oh, yep, here we go. Get him, Gore. Let's see, is there a skill that I want to work on here? One-handed is at 75, two-handed is at 71. Two-handed is my lowest ranked skill right now. Let's work on the two-handed stuff. I still am running Shadows of Skyrim, so death does not come without consequences. Okay, all I had to do was scare that guy off a cliff. I really don't like being up here all exposed on this catwalk here. Let's try to find some shelter just so we don't get pelted by archers. Oh, he got me. Oh, push him off a cliff too. And I've been poisoned. Uh-oh. These are all regular Falmer. We are getting up there a little bit in levels. Leveling has been happening quickly. We are close to level 30 now, so we should start seeing some tougher Falmer. Luckily for us, we haven't yet. Okay, what do you see in Gore? Hope you're not just running away. So yeah, as described in a previous episode, Gore is the mentor of Fortius right now. Fortius was one of Gore's biggest fans. He, when he was younger, used to watch Gore in the arena. Okay. Can't get down there from here. I think I can get down there from here, though. So Gore is able to not only help him in combat, but also comment on his skills and his techniques and help him to learn. He also keeps an eye on him. Fortius's father, Aulus, one of his last orders of business before Fortius is agile in that heavy armor, something that he's learned from Gore. One of his father's last order of business before he died was to contract Gore to be sort of the mentor, eyes and ears, guardian, chauffeur, whatever you want to call it, to Fortius. Hey, Joe. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Okay, did both of these Falmer down here die, or do we have one still floating around in the water down here? So his father did, ooh, the supple bows are valuable. His father did make some arrangements so that Fortius wouldn't have to be alone. He knew that Fortius looked up to Gore. He knew that Gore had a lot of battle experience. Fortius's father, Aulus, was able to teach Gore, or not Gore, Fortius pretty much everything he knew, but it was more like the tactical, refined techniques that are taught through the Imperial Legion. The Legion soldiers are very, very well trained. Their technique is refined. They're taught to work together as a unit. Gore's fighting style is a little more less refined, but no less effective. So he was thinking that having Gore follow along Fortius on his journeys would help fill out some of the holes in Fortius's defense and offense, and just tactics and techniques in general, to make him more of a complete fighter. To pretty much make up for the shortcomings of Fortius's father and the training of the Imperial Legion. Okay, so let's start at the top and make our way down to the bottom. I have not fought the Gunners yet, so I have hundreds of hours in Fallout 4, and I have a few dozen hours with that Sim Settlements 2 questline. But I've never made it to the end. I've never gotten there. So I haven't fought the Gunners yet, but I'm sure it's epic. At some point I'll get back to Fallout 4, but right now with Skyrim being sort of the main game of this channel, this stuff I can scrap for Dwemer metal. I don't know, and then Starfield also capturing my attention. Ouch. Yep, these Falmer will poison you, and if you don't have poison resistance, it's gonna hurt. Yep, alright, let's regain ourselves. Okay, we're getting our health back. Little taste of his own poison there. Okay. One thing I want to do, for whatever reason this doesn't seem to be sticky between sessions, is I did figure out a way to get the shield to stick. I just got to come over here to weapons, enable weapons, lock in the slot for the shield, and now he's that shield's gonna be sticky now through sessions. So it does come off the back when I unsheath it, but now it also, if I switch weapons to something else, it does stay on my back if I don't have it wielded. And there is some clipping and stuff, but I do like for the warrior to have his arsenal displayed on him. I'm gonna have to unload some of this stuff on Gore before too long. Yeah, we're gonna start on the top and make our way down. Actually, I want to have this shield out just in case I get attacked by animations. That's XPMSE. I do want to have my shield out just in case we encounter. There are a lot of archers with poisoned arrows here that... Okay, now we got a mage. Actually, better off with the... two-hander there. Good defense is the best offense in a mage fight, I believe. I think there are more Falmer down around the corner down those stairs there, so I should probably deal with them before I go after this loot behind this locked door here. But now that I found the sweet spot, I want to keep going. So yeah, Summer Games Fest and the Xbox event was really good. They showed off a lot of good stuff there, and I'm kind of in a conflicted place with that because they did just announce all those layoffs, and they shut down Arcane Austin and Tango Gameworks, so I still kind of hate Xbox a little bit. But that show was really, really good. They got a lot of good stuff coming. The Perfect Dark reboot looked really cool. Going full. Oh my god.
Let's go.
Oh, I'm encumbered. I gotta drop some stuff on the ground here. All right, let's go. Creepy bastard. Ooh, that guy was fighting very defensively, causing me all kinds of trouble. Yes, I am still running Shadows of Skyrim, so death does not come without consequences. It isn't just a reload. It's gonna probably take away most, if not all, of my gear. Start me back at the place where I last slept, which would be the Silverblood Inn. So it's... Oh, jeez. All right, so many of them. At least I'm getting some heavy armor skill here. There we go. Anybody else before I start my inventory management? I think that's all of them. I don't have Aura Whisper or anything. But I do have the damn Rallying Standard, which I can use once a day. Could have used there. Gotta make sure I'm using that. That's one thing that I have to get better at, is using the powers and weapons at my disposal as they come up. All right, let's go pick up the Dwarven scrap. Hand this off to Gore.
What do you need?
Barn, check this called Cow Boob. Fallout role player that Sim Settlement series and Sniper Nest series, both really good. But does like zombie mods. Okay, cool. Is his name actually Cowboob? Or is that a typo? Okay, we need to give him the crafting supplies more than anything. I'll probably throw... some of those Falmer bows in there too. Money is still really important for Fortius for training and grand soul gems for enchanting for sure. He also makes his own music, and yes, that's what his name is. Okay, I'll look him up. Calboob, that's going to be hard to forget, so I don't think I need to write that down anywhere. All right, Gore. I'm going to be dropping this stuff off on Gore very often.
Yeah.
Now, with Nether's follower framework, it does add this additional follower inventory that makes them pretty much over-encumberable. That's not a word, then it should be.
All right, then.
Kind of like a horse. With convenient horses, you can put as much in that follower inventory as you want, and he'll never get slowed down or refuse anything. So that's handy, especially when you're picking up dwarven scrap like this. In fact, I think a lot of this I can't even smelt. If I remember correctly, it's the stuff that starts with an adjective, not the stuff that just has an adjective in it. Still following me around. Okay. Okay, don't worry about the spider, Gore. Poison hurts, but... Skulker. Okay, that was a tough fight going up some stairs. I think we made it through okay.
Did I ever tell you?
I think I want to swap out to the step mod because the roll seems a bit too agile for a heavy warrior.
Companions to halt. Well, don't know what for, but I reckon they had good cause.
It's an easy change. You just can't do it in MCM with this version of the Nemesis TK dodge. With this many weapons, you've got like a Shao Kahn thing going on. Yeah, kinda. I actually did want to do a Shao Kahn build at some point too. Where are you going, Gore? Dead end? Really good in a fight, not so much for his navigational skills. Yeah, but I'm really trying to weave in all the different weapon types. It's against meta, but for a warrior class, I feel like they would have proficiency with all weapon types. So I'm trying to weave that into the gameplay as much as possible. I think we've fought the guys from this little room already, but just in case. Yeah, I think we're okay. That I can sell off, that I can use later. And welcome aboard, Mr. N King. So let's see. James has been playing Fallout 4 Sim Settlements. I have been playing Skyrim and Diablo 4 mostly.
What do you need?
Joe, I think, has been playing Skyrim. He's got, I think you've had like a warrior, like a Nord warrior character you've been running from the screenshots that I've seen in the different Discords. You been playing anything, N King? Still trying to get through a chunk in my backlog. I still really want to play the new Hellblade game too. That one I can probably do in a weekend. That's only supposed to last like 7 or 8 hours, I think. So it's not really going to affect the backlog much. But I really want to get this Steger build guide out. It's my top priority right now. Oh. Cape got a little wrapped up. All right, let's head downstairs, see what the Dwarven depths have in store for us. Probably nothing good. Getting a lot of scrap Dwemer metal, though. That's good. Yeah, Fallout 4, Diablo 4, they've made some really good improvements to the game. This season has held my interest better than any before. And I feel like now that game's probably going to be permanently installed on my computer until I just run out of room and really want to play something else. They've done a good job listening to the... not only listening to the...
Alright then.
not only listening to the community, but also not giving the community exactly what it's asking for, but giving the community things it didn't know it wanted instead. And I think that's the mark of a truly good developer and gameplay designer. So I think they got the right people in the right spots over there. It's just, you know, with a live service game that's that complicated and, you know, it needs that much end game, I think they need to take an iterative approach with it. And they have.
All right, then.
And I think BGS has been doing a good job with Starfield as well, in the same aspect of, you know, listening to players and giving them what they want, but also some things that they didn't know that they wanted. Mostly they've been explicitly giving players what they're asking for in terms of now they've expanded the melee weaponry for the different tiers. So you can mod your weaponry, you have advanced and superior and
everything's better.
All that for melee weapons now, which is good. Ammo crafting, ways to get around, the cars are coming soon. Which is all good, but you know, that has less of an impact on a non-live service game, so I feel like they're not getting the props for it that the Diablo 4 devs have, sadly. Okay, something's fighting me. I think this might be a Dwemer automaton. Nope. Man, they're deadly with those bashes. I have a bash too, though. I feel like there's still an archer up here. Oh no! I forgot about that fire rune. That one gets me every single time. Oh, Gore survived, so he helped me. Okay, so I don't have to start completely over. Do I have any... Okay, good. Cheese and rice. Okay. Man, that fire rune is like almost invisible. I feel like that wasn't the only one here too. Let's be very careful. I feel like there's a couple more that are very hard to see. Is this Strom's journal? Oh man, I'm scared now. I'm so scared right now. All I can hope is that Gore doesn't get caught in the splash damage of it and go down with me. Ah, here's Strom. And his journal. This is step 1 for this dungeon dive. Let's go ahead and read this journal here. I've decided to remain behind with one of our guards and further document the living area we've stumbled across. I write this to the best of my ability, but due to the sudden disappearance of the Dwemer, it's almost impossible to say for certain what anything is. The tree, by the 9, I cannot determine the purpose of this tree. It appears to be from the area around Whiterun, but why and how it got here is beyond me. I think it may be a gift from the surface world, but based on the lavish surroundings, it could also be a display of power. I'll check the living areas nearby for any additional clues. Living areas. Upon further investigation of the area, it looks like this structure houses 2 clans or families. I can think of no other reason for this particular layout. Perhaps this group oversaw this particular portion of the city. I'll have to compare notes from other areas as we uncover more of the city. Hopefully some of those will contain more in-depth clues. It appears a smaller wing collapsed in on itself and maybe when the expedition returns we can dig out an entrance. Falmer have begun to creep back into this area of the ruins. It's a good thing I am not alone here. We've managed to block off some areas we suspect the Falmer were crawling in through, or coming in through, but they're still getting to us somehow. Together we are able to hold them back, but how long until Stauben and the rest return? That tells me Stauben and the rest are having just as bad of a time as you are. Haven't saved in a while, so I'm doing a quick save here. So here's that tree. It does in fact look like a Whiterun tree, almost like a Gildergreen. This might be another sapling from the Eldergleam. Which we know is kind of a relic of the past. An ancient tree with some power to it, so the elves may have revered this thing, this tree. Ancient life form. Oh man, I'm scared to walk on a rune now. well, walking on eggshells over here. Baldur's Gate 3 found out Gortash voice actor was Jason Isaac, that plays the death of Starlin General Zukov. Probably best actor at that film. Oh, cool. I don't think I've seen that movie. Drinking San Pellegrino Essanza. Sounds fancy, but got it for pretty cheap at Costco. It's just flavored fizzy water. Good soda substitute. Had a lot of caffeine this week. Rough week at work. I've been up late trying to get these weird bugs fixed for a major release at my company. So I've been up till 3 a.m. the past 2 or 3 days and working 12-hour, 20-hour shifts trying to get this stuff done. So trying to take it a little bit easy on the caffeine this weekend. Get some actual rest.
Let's go.
Don't need the lever, don't need the dish. I'll take the small plate. Yeah, looking for crafting materials here more than anything. But also just regular old XP is good too. Man, I love a flowing cape in this game. It's like you don't know how bad you were missing capes and cloaks with physics until you see one flowing around you.
Let's go.
Very cool looking. Even if it does clip through like the shield on your back every once in a while, it's worth it. Just add some drama to the ambiance, I think. More dead Falmer over here. Keeping our eyes peeled for traps and runes especially, because the traps with the armor that we have, we might be able to survive a trap, but a rune... that's a different story. Oh, we got a nice little torture chamber over here. Now, these aren't the Falmer torture chambers. I think this is from the Dwemer. Dwemer were indeed a cruel race. A lot of these skeletons here probably are Falmer skeletons. snow elf skeletons. Or maybe even human skeletons. Yeah, the Dwemer weren't kind generally. At least that's the way the conventional wisdom, the conventional lore goes. Now, where's this other living area? Is it over? Yeah, I think it's this way. Watch out for runes. God, the lighting the way it is. May not be able to see a rune until it's too late. Okay, I'm gonna refrain from picking up heavy items until I've cleared the area. Okay, there's a Falmer. That's a mage. I don't like that. Get in. Okay. Went down easy. Gore, yeah. Gore is very nearsighted. Not very perceptive. You good? Bayo, what's up, buddy? We getting Dwarven gear or what? Yes, we definitely are. It's going well. Had a very busy week at work, so I'm happy to, you know, be able to relax this weekend, play some video games, work on my character. Yeah, right now we're going through the Lost Expedition, which is a very big and winding Dwemer ruin in Chuenzel, I believe, in Markarth. Mostly, I just want to gather crafting materials for Dwarven gear. I have the perk for it, but also we're getting experience in all of our warrior skills as well. We are level 29, very close to level 30. Level 30 unlocks dragons in my game too, so that's going to be another challenge we're going to have to try to deal with. I might need Spellbreaker for this, or I might try to find the, what is it, the Ring of the Shaman or something like that for, in the fishing creation that gives you a ward whenever you block. Need something to be able to defend myself against the flying breath attacks of the dragon.
Yeah.
I can also get a block perk for that, but I would... Spellbreaker just works better, I think. Especially with Zim's immersive artifacts that I'm running, that ward is a lot stronger. It comes up a lot faster. So I might try to take on the Periite quest before I take on dragons. Now, the way that I have Skyrim Unbound set is that at level 30, dragons are unlocked, but only on word walls. So I can avoid them. There aren't going to be random dragon attacks until level 40, I believe. So that'll give me 10 levels to get prepped for random dragon attacks. But it's something that I got to start thinking about. George, hey, been watching your vids for a while. Glad finally caught one of your streams. Yeah, me too. Nice to meet you, like in real time, in person. Always happy to meet a fan. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So you watch the you like the build guides, or what's your favorite kind of video? I like to be well informed. I know the videos that perform well. Mostly the Anirim guides and build guides do well, but I always like to hear what people like to see from my channel. Allegorically, you know, not just from the numbers. Nice. Was watching the last streams for the Warrior, not able to get into it live. Nice to catch you live. Yes, indeed. But time will tell. It is my end boss, I guess. Ooh, yes. Time is indeed the biggest challenge that we all face. Eventually, anyway. It just got really dark. Sorry about that. With how tough your pure fighter will be, is dragging breath going to be a concern? Well, I don't know if you saw, but I did just step on a fire rune and it blasted me into the ceiling and killed me instantly. So even though I have been working on some resistances, so I do have the Agent of Mara. I did do the Mara quest line, so I do have a 15% magic resistance, which is nothing to sneeze at. On my shield, I do have the reactive barrier, so I do get resistance to an elemental spell if I get hit by it. That's if I survive it, right? And there's some things I can get from the fishing quest line, some rings that will give you like 20% elemental and magic resistance that kind of stacks. So I'm going to be fishing a lot off stream. I think the Ring of Finister, and there's a Ring of Dagmire or something too. It gives you some elemental resistances, and I think those are both random drops for the fishing quest line. So I'll be doing a lot of fishing offline here to try and get some of those. But other than that, magic is just completely destroying me. Shadows of Skyrim would have sent me back to the Silverblood Inn, and I would have taken some kind of penalty for that. But Gore was still alive, so he helped me up to my feet. He revived me. That was nice of him. Okay, now we got to find the rest of these journals. Now I'm scared with every single step I take, because that killed me good. That killed me real good. Oh, now I'm going the wrong way. Damn it. Definitely the build guides. The Druid one was my favorite. I tried a playthrough of that character and it was great, but I've also watched some of your older permadeath videos too. Cool, cool.
Bandits don't have that same crunch.
Yeah, so Let's Play type content, it never really took off for me, for whatever reason. I think this goes back out to Inchuanzel, yeah. There were a small group of people that really liked the Let's Play stuff that I was doing, but the numbers, the viewership was just barely a fraction of what I was getting from build guides and the different Skyrim, just little mini guides here and there. So I decided to focus on the guide stuff more than the Let's Play stuff. But I feel like Let's Play stuff across YouTube is actually not doing too well either for any game. Even Gopher was lamenting this too. He was saying that he's probably going to have to... He doesn't want to cut short his Starfield one. Starfield has its own challenges, obviously. We've all seen the drama for Starfield. He likes the game. He would like to keep playing, and I think he is going to get up there. Fine, whatever. I'll go around. He's going to keep playing, but he's kind of in a spot where it's like, okay, Gopher's probably the premier Let's Player, but even like his Cyberpunk Let's Play is not doing well. I'm sure if he did a Skyrim Let's Play, though, it would blow up again. I feel like so many people subbed to his channel for specifically his Skyrim content. But it's not just him, it's a lot of other people kind of lamenting that their Let's Plays that used to do really well all of a sudden aren't anymore. I think, you know, the platform has just become completely saturated with Let's Play stuff. So it's hard, but I would like to do Let's Plays because they're fun. And if I get like a bunch of footage that I can edit, like long play footage, I can edit it down and make it kind of more entertaining. The problem is I'm not sure if it's going to be worth my effort. I'm not opposed to trying things, even if I'm sure they're going to fail in terms of views. Ouch. Okay. Hard to fight what you can't even see. Okay, I see him up there. Missed with the slide, but that's okay. Was able to reset their tactical advantage for their distance. Okay. That could have gone worse. We did take a few more shots than we wanted to. Health is recovering pretty quickly, though. That's good. So yeah, I feel like if you do a Let's Play creatively enough, there should still be a market for it. The problem is it worth the trouble? And like I said, I'm willing to try things that I know isn't going to be very successful. Like I did some arcade stuff on my channel. I knew that wasn't going to do well, but it was still fun. And I might do some more of that, but I don't know. We'll see. I have very limited time, so for me, it's like, okay, I don't care about the algorithm. I don't really care about how profitable the channel is or whatever, but I don't want to waste people's time and I don't want to piss people off by giving them a bunch of content that they didn't ask for when they subscribed for the channel, right? I do still like doing Skyrim content and build guides. It's a passion of mine, I would say. It's a hobby. I love doing Skyrim builds. They are a lot of work though, so they do take up a lot of my spare time. So I just got to make sure I'm spending that time wisely and doing what's going to make me the happiest and my audience the happiest. I guess it's worth your effort if it's fun for you, but depends on what you want to get out of this in general. Yes, indeed. And I think I addressed that with my sort of rambling thought dump. Main thing is it should all be fun. You're definitely one great build creator. Oh, thank you. I pride myself on my build abilities here. I feel like I'm really good at it. And I think that that's coming not from a place of hubris, but being able to look pragmatically at my build guides and the creativity of my builds and put that up against any other builds and build creators on YouTube. Fudge Muppet. And it at least goes toe to toe, and blow for blow with the most popular build creators out there. I'm sort of at the... I think I missed the popularity window on Skyrim, unfortunately, so the channel didn't blow up. But yeah, this is just a hobby. Okay. But I think I've even asked very, logically, critically in-depth people for feedback on some of my build guides, even my Starfield build guide, which is more of a contentious game. I got glowing reviews on from people who didn't even like that game. So I feel like I'm doing good. I just need to work on my thumbnail game a little bit. Basically the marketing side of things, and things will blow up. And it's not a necessity for me. I'm not like trying to do YouTube for a living. I do like to try to succeed at everything that I undertake though. And I'm okay failing over and over again if I learn how to succeed and develop a skill for that. That was a tough lock. Oh. I know that as you unlock these things, there are like Centurion spheres and guardians and stuff that come out. We're gonna have to be very careful of. Oh, now I'm over encumbered. We're gonna have to be very careful about that.
Everything's better.
Okay. So enough of tooting my own horn. Let's get back to the game here. Yeah, this is a very long dungeon. And there are some very challenging tactical aspects to it. How foolish to move through this place so quickly. It's taken me only a few hours to crack the back gate. Maybe I'll donate a cup or two, but Crag says he knows some private buyers who will pay handsomely for a working trinket. There has to be one in here. The side doors are all locked, but this chest should have one or two things of value. When I get out, I'm going to buy myself a castle. Ooh, ambitious one here, huh? We got 5 stars. That's got to be like a bug or something, right? Okay, so how are we approaching this strategically? I know that as I unlock some of this stuff, it's going to... There are guardians that come, or the spheres that come out through here, yeah, with the instincts, you can see them waiting on the other side. I don't know what they're waiting for, but in the past, if I've unlocked one of these, sometimes we get a visit from a sphere. So let's make sure that I have my potions all taken care of here, that they're all in the quick menu that I need. Poisons aren't going to help us against automatons or automata. Destruction won't help us right now either. Fortified block will. Archery might if I have to gain some distance. Heavy armor for sure. One-handed, yes. These are all favorited. Two-handed, yes. None of the resistances will help. Things that buff stamina will, so the regenerate stamina will help. Okay. We're ready to go as far as those go, and I also do have the rallying standard that I can use to buff up both me and Gore. They are fantastic, thank you. Yeah, I definitely agree. The creativity and depth of your builds is what really drew me to your channel, to be honest. Okay, thank you. Yep, always good to have good feedback, but I also like the critical feedback too. Sometimes I like getting the hateful comments because I learn more about the channel and the audience that way. But it's always good to know that you're on the right track with these things too. So I got the formula down. The skills are there for the editing and for the gameplay skill and knowing the game well enough that
Yeah.
I can do some creative things with it. Right now it's just a matter of time. Like, how efficient can I get with this stuff? Ice Blast. I don't think I have Ice Blast yet. That's good. Because as it is right now, I can do 2 or 3 build guides a year. That's about it. Adder Dwemer. Can sell that off. It's always pretty light. Solid metal, bent scrap metal, large strut, solid metal.
What do you need?
And yeah, like I said, I'm about halfway through the Shaman Assassin build guide. I keep saying it's going to be out in a week or two, but, you know, that all completely depends on work, and work has been absolutely nutty lately. I've had several nights this week where I was up till 3 a.m. trying to get things done for a major release.
Yeah.
But I am going to play the week or 2 card for that now. And then hopefully the Warrior Mage and Thief guides come out a little faster. That's my goal for this year, is to get all 3 of those build guides out. And that will build sort of the base of the pyramid for builds going forward, for more creative hybrid builds. And I hope that I tackle these base builds in a creative enough way that it captures the attention and imagination of people who... Yep, here we go. Who want to give these basic builds another look. Okay. So the sword I have has a poison damage enchantment on it, which was not ideal for this, but I really needed the extra added defensive benefits of the shield against these guys, because they do have a very fast attack speed, and they do a lot of damage if you're not actively defending against them. And they got the drop on me enough that Gore wasn't able to tank for me until later, so yeah, tactically that's why I went with the sword and board instead of the spear. The spear does have a drain armor enchantment on it. I'm being very diligent about my encumbrance right now because I don't want to grab something that over encumbers me as I get ambushed by a sphere or a Falmer. Skulker or something like that, you know.
All right then.
Yeah, so my goal this year is to get the warrior, the mage, and the thief all out before the end of the year. It's gonna be, I got my work cut out for me for sure, especially with the new mod stack that I have going right now. I did have a lot of bugs to work through with this save file. Hopefully it holds up, but I had to update a lot of patches. I updated Zim's immersive artifacts, Summer Mist, which was they were two pretty major updates to those mods. And because of that, there was a lot of patching that had to be done between that and WACCF. Okay, let's clear this area before we start picking up Dwemer's scrap metal. Okay, I think this area is clear. I think this is where I came in at. Okay. We went upstairs before. Now we're downstairs. Okay, let's pick up some of this metal. We'll give it to Gore, and then we'll continue on through the upper levels. Yeah, so with the warrior, the mage, and the thief, these are basic classes that people have played a ton, but I feel like with the Skyrim overhauls, there's a lot of juice there for creative gameplay that people haven't really explored a lot of. And the weapon switching aspect for the warrior is a big one, but there's also some very interesting perks, and I got to level up that I'm trying to save for tactical purposes here. But there are a lot of perks that people, that other Skyrim builders I've seen that aren't making a whole lot of use of in heavy armor, and specifically two-handed through Voice of Rage and Ruin, I think. They can add a lot of juice to your gameplay. Hey, Mr. B, welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. YouTube, Twitch, whatnot for a living. Gods, that sounds exhausting. Yes, that does not sound as good as you think. It's not just playing video games. It is a marketing job more than anything. It is a marketing and networking job. It's not just playing video games for a living. You should buy a castle in that dead guy's honor. You could even name it Idiot in a Robe manner to tribute to him. Yes, indeed. Although hateful comments aren't the same as critical criticism, they just often just offer negativity without the whys. Well, yeah, that's when it becomes toxic. But in my experience anyway, even the most toxic ones sometimes have some little kind of grain, little kernel of criticism in there that maybe you can take. As long as you can stay away from the negative emotional aspects of it, you don't take it personally, you can cut out the sentiment and look at the information, you can still learn something from even the most toxic comments. I mean, that's that's easy, more easily said than done a lot of times based on your state of mind at that particular moment, but yeah. I knew if we dug deep enough, we'd eventually hit some fresh ruins. Markarth, a city built upon a city. From early pieces recovered, we've determined the name of the city is in Chuanzel, but past that, we've very little info. We've been given an escort through, and we've been given an escort though, and tomorrow we will delve into the city proper. It's only been a day and I already missed my desk and chair. I thought it would be a little more fun to explore, but so far it's just been fighting spiders and getting to view an occasional rubble pile. Hopefully we get to the main ruin soon so we can set up a camp and I can start cataloging some of the items I've been able to find. We found the armory earlier and Urge has stayed behind to find a way into the main vault. If anyone can open the locks, it's him. We've kept going and settled up here for the night. Since the guards say it will be easy to defend, I've put up a few runes just in case. Oh shit, more runes. Okay. Hopefully if one of these runes take us out, it doesn't take out Gore as well. With Shadows of Skyrim, I do have it set so that if Gore survives, he can revive me. Wow, did that... This Imperial helmet is better... I don't think so. I don't think it's better than my helmet. 65 with 40% resistance to fire versus 33 with no enchantment. Well, I don't think so. Okay, can I pre-kill this Centurion here? I don't think so. I would rather have the impetus of the attack than having to deal with him retroactively, but I think he's scripted to not be... Yeah, he's just a static until we activate the ruin. Like I said, he set up some runes, so we're going to be very, very careful about stepping on anything. Now, sometimes the runes can be kind of invisible because they're placed like just below the surface. That's a vanilla bug, but it's exacerbated by certain terrain overhauls as well. Ooh, we got some crafting materials here. I don't know if I realized this was even here, ever. Usually when I'm coming this way, I'm just trying to get the hell out of this dungeon from being here for like 4 hours. Dwemer construction should be weak to maces and warhammers. Yeah. I could see that. Something that will bang up that plate metal even better. Rattle the joints a little bit, get them to come apart. Same with like skeletons, I would say. They're just brittle. Anything that's old and brittle and hard should be weak to maces and hammers. Unfortunately, that's not how this game works.
Let's go.
Although with Ordinator, I think you do get some perks that add a little strength against undead for at least maces. I'm not sure about warhammers though. I think you get more critical damage on power attacks or something like that with a mace. Okay. Let's clear the area before we start picking up scraps. I don't want to get ambushed again while encumbered. Okay, here we go. Let's try to stay out of range of the archer as I take an arrow shot. Nice slow-mo there. Okay, let's take cover. Cover here a little bit. Wow, that minor stamina or minor health potion is doing like nothing. Ah, the old Dishonored stab through the side of the neck. Kill cam. Gotta love that. R.I.P. Arcane Austin. Man, that one pissed me off. That Arcane Austin closure. Because Prey was so good, and they did such good work on the Dishonored series. And I know it's like, I don't think that they were the main studio that worked on Dishonored, but I think that was Arcane Leon. Or at least before they split. But Redfall was obviously a publisher decision for a live service game, and so I feel like they were forced to make a game that they didn't want, and then when that game didn't pan out, they just let them go, closed the studio. And now we'll never get another Prey from that same studio.
What do you need?
And they won't be around to work on another Dishonored game. That's kind of sad.
Let's go.
But there are lots of reports saying that regardless of Redfall, if it would have been a hit or not, they kind of weren't part of Microsoft's plan from the beginning. That they really only acquired Bethesda for the flagship titles, and then like everything else was just kind of fodder that they needed to, you know, find a way to deal with, and the obvious way to deal with it in a big corporation is just to scrap it.
All right.
I don't want to get too bummery here because there are a lot of really good things on the way, and video games are awesome and they're fun, and I don't like to taint that with negativity. So just pour one out for Arcane. Maybe I'll play some Prey and Arcane to celebrate the good stuff that they've done, and hope that they land on their feet somewhere, making good immersive sims.
All right, then.
Yep, okay. Okay, the warrior's looking a little warrior-y here, huh? I got kind of caught in stealth mode there. I wonder if there's a setting with that slide where I can reset to standing after the slide. Might take a quick look at that right now. What is this called? I know that there is there's an MCM for it. I thought there was anyway. There's a configuration power for it, but I thought there was an MCM for it too. And I think the power, all it does is toggle knockdown on and off. Yeah, I don't see it. Could just be missing it. Taking a break there, Gore? Go ahead and take a load off. Porteous knows as well as anybody that it is hard work trudging around in this heavy armor. And Gore's got it worse. That Dwarven stuff is some of the heaviest.
What do you need?
I still got some encumbrance.
All right,
Let's
then.
look around. We're clear. I don't want to spend all stream just going in and out of inventory menus, you know?
Just remember, everything's better bloody.
Yeah, James is going through some cold and flu stuff. So send James your best. That's never fun. Okay.
All right, then.
Staubin's diary. Okay. I feel like there's a trap over here somewhere. I'm getting deja vu. After making our way down the mine and through the spiders, we finally made it down to Inchuanzel proper. They've built the city. We built the city. Yeah, I'm not going to sing the whole thing. They built the city into the very cave walls that house it. Amazing. Inchuanzel hums with life, but its guardians lay dormant. Hopefully we can learn more as we go deeper. This area seems to be where two of the city's families lived. We've spent some time studying this tree outside the dwellings, but cannot figure out what its significance is. Strom will be remaining behind with one of the students to further study this area in greater depth. I look forward to reading his notes on the subject. Today we entered the city's armory. The Falmer have yet to break into the best of the Dwarven goods thanks to the sturdy Dwemer locks. Erge says he wants to be able to get into the vaults and would send word when he's in. The spiders gave us much trouble, but who could have foreseen they've been the only thing keeping Markarth safe? After exiting the armory, we made camp, but the Falmer have been watching us and finally tired of our intrusion. They came while we slept and slaughtered what guards were left. Meridia, forgive me for using my students as a distraction to get away, but I have to bring this place back to life. Too many. Couldn't hit switch. Okay. I'm not sure if this is a good idea, activating this place. Because if the automated defenses do manage to fend off the Falmer, then we just have an infestation of automata instead of an infestation of Falmer. I don't know which is better. Oh crap. Maybe the Falmer. Oh boy. There you go, nice whack. I hear a sphere. I hear a sphere. Oh, we got Falmers already fighting them. Oh, they're quick with that bash. Nice whack. Whew, okay. Now we're clear. Let's go ahead and loot. Looty doot 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 doot. More interested with the scrap metal that I can turn into dwarven weapons and armor. Can use the smaller soul gems for refilling the sword, though. I've been really burning through its charge. Can't believe I'm not encumbered yet. I gotta be like right on the cusp of encumbrance. What about 22 more units of measure? Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we're walking. Yeah, always have a pack mule if you're coming here for dwarven crafting materials, because it adds up really fast. And I believe that fortified carry weight does work on followers. Not all of them do. Not all the enchantments do. But fortified carry weight does, I believe. So you can stack that on them if they need to. Algebraic, just found your content a couple of days ago and love it. Thanks for getting me back into Skyrim. Hey, awesome. Glad to meet you in real time. So you enjoying the build guides? Or what? Let's plays, build guides? Probably based on the numbers, it's going to be the build guides.
Alright then.
Collecting dwarven crap, always such a heavy burden. Indeed, indeed. It's almost more of a challenge than fighting the dwarven crap. Mace of Dust. I do already have this enchantment. But it's still pretty valuable, so I can just unload it on gore if I need to. Alright, let's turn this place on, shall we? Now there is going to be a Centurion down there. We can skip that fight altogether, but I don't know, I kind of want to fight the Centurion. Guy on the spectrum, I'm sworn to carry your burdens. Yes. A lot of burdens in this game need carrying, which is why we all love Lydia so much. Let's make sure we're not going to be encumbered.
All right then.
Okay, we got to be ready with these potions. Buff ourselves up. Ooh, we're kind of hungry here too. Make sure we don't miss the scrap metal. I would like to get as many hits in with my spear as I can, because that does have the drain armor enchantment. And that's going to be very valuable against a Centurion. Ooh, magic suppression. I'm not sure I have all magic suppression yet. It's going to be very valuable come endgame here. All right, Gore.
Yeah.
Hold more of my stuff. Yeah, trying out the Shadow Mage right now. That's a fun one. I was just streaming that one not too long ago. Still holds up, I think. Once I get to a place where I have like most of the builds out of the pipeline that I want to do, I kind of want to start revisiting builds from the past. Like rebooting, remastering these builds a little bit. Wouldn't mind having another crack at the Shadow Mage with some of the new mods I have. Some of the new gameplay mods that I have with the like jump attacks, the slide, and just some. I just know more about the game and the mods now too that I think would be helpful. Okay, quick save. I think I need to drop down. Let's have Rallying Standard ready to go, and then all our potions ready to go too. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang out up here. We're not going to rush in because there are going to be spheres and centurions fighting off Falmer. So we're going to let them thin out those numbers for us. Yeah, there's the centurion. I can take the opportunity to take some pot shots at the centurion though. Poison isn't gonna help. Are you coming up here to fight me? Yep. Big mistake, buddy. Okay, here's the Centurion. Is he gonna be able to come all the way up here? He is, isn't he? All right, let's get in there, Gore. All right, we need to be very, very careful here. Because my best defense against that steam attack is a dodge, and if I dodge in the wrong direction, I could plummet to my death. So let's be very careful about that. None of the poisons here are going to help me out. Block will help, heavy armor will help, and one-handed will help. I'm going to go ahead and take a two-handed potion here too, in case I can get. It's too powerful for. Oh, I know what that is. I'm going to take the two-handed potion too, just in case I can get Gore to tank this guy if we can get in. I'll switch to the spear, and I'll start doing some armor damage to him too. Resist magic, yes. I don't know if the steam attacks counts as fire, but I'm going to pop a potion there just in case. I'm going to try to dodge roll in without dodge rolling off of the edge there. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Oh, he almost pushed me off. Okay, didn't even need the spear. Look at that. Woo! Oh my god, I'm sweating. All right. Got a grand soul gem for it too. Awesome. We can use that to enchant some dwarven gear.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, actually, I don't want to talk to him just now because there might still be some spheres and or Falmer kicking around here. Band of Devastation plus 30 health. Okay, I think the one that I have has plus 25, so that's an upgrade. Yep, I hear, I think a sphere fighting up there. All right, let's get up there, Gore. We'll let the sphere and the Falmer work out their differences, and we'll take on the winner. There's a glowing mushroom down here too. Okay, I heard him, but I don't see him. I should just be cutting my losses here and heading out. Okay, 2 spheres. All right, Gore, gonna need your help. Where are you, buddy? Hopefully I can get some pot shots in. Yeah, they're coming. Okay, now we're down to 1 sphere. Don't know where he is, though. Oh, there he is. I see ya. Ah! Gore is deadly with that damn hammer, that's for sure. Oh, shit, Gore. 3 spheres? 3 spheres is too much. Wow. That hurt, Gore. He hit me with that hammer. Did you see that? It took a third of my life. Bruiser over here. There's another sphere that I'm having trouble getting to. Okay, no, I hear another sphere. Where is he? Oh, now I hear him really close. He must be underneath. Yep, there he is. Okay, working on that defense. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that was tough. We made it through. The one thing that killed us was the rune. The rune that kills me every single time I come through this dungeon. Whether I'm on stream, whether I'm not on stream, regardless of the character that I'm playing, the first time I go through that damn thing, with a character, that rune kills me outright every single time. Got me this time too. Luckily, Gore was still alive to revive us, so that's good. And there were no other enemies around, so I didn't have to incur the Shadow of Skyrim penalty and have to start over somewhere else, you know. So that's good. Not too much punitive happened there. And we were re-alerted to stay on our toes for traps and things. What GPU am I running, Sauce? A 4090. One of those PC snobs that have the good stuff. Getting some really good frame rates here, even while I'm streaming. I'm up close to the cap of my monitor at 165 FPS. And I'm running display tweaks, so I get the full benefits of G-Sync with that too. So yeah, bragging about my gear. Don't mind doing it. Okay, let me catch up here. That's why you have followers like Lydia. Yes, indeed. Yes, thank you for shouting out Mr. B. Haster. You're a good dude, and welcome. Hope you're doing well. James Asper, Forge Master, Fusro Dahim. I don't have any shouts yet. I don't have dragons unlocked in my game just yet, so I don't have any shouts, but that will be good. Should get Spellbreaker if you don't have it. That's probably next thing on my agenda. I do need a ward if I'm going to fight dragons, especially. Yeah, I do have a dodge roll that can get through magic. That's kind of my main thing right now. And then soon I'll be able to unlock a heavy armor perk that gives magic resistance based on your scaling armor rating. And that's even goes beyond the cap, so that's going to be good. Don't forget to smash the like button. Yes, that does help out the channel. If you care about such things, go ahead and hit that like button. I do appreciate it, but I don't require it. Just mainly want to hang out with you guys and play some Skyrim. Smashed it hard already. Do it with me. Smash the freaking button. Thank you, Bayo. I like the enthusiasm. Taking revenge for making him carry your stuff. Yes. Maybe time to give Skyrim some revenge and cast some runes yourself next run. Yes. The mage character's next. If I have time this week, I'll spin him up. And we'll stream him next weekend. But Yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind casting some runes with that guy. Switching to PC in 2 months. Already got the mouse and keyboard. It's linked to my TV currently. Nice. Nice. That's kind of the one of the perks of going PC gaming is that you get to piece together your rig part by part. Oh, I didn't get this iron yet. Go ahead and mine some of this ore here. My CPU is a few generations old, but and that's where my bottleneck is. If you're running a 4090, then your CPUs and the games that you're running in the software architecture, if they are, you know, multi-core processing or not, that's always going to be your bottleneck with a GPU like this. The problem is, let's see, I'm running a 10 850K, which is basically a 10 900K with, you know, 50 less megahertz, but that's just more than made up for with overclocking. The benefit that I would get for going to the 12th or 13th gen at this point is probably a few frames per second. And that's just not worth, you know, upgrading my motherboard, taking my whole computer apart, putting it all back together for a new CPU for a few frames per second. The 10 900K is still a beast of a PC with 10 cores and 20 threads. It's completely fine, and then some for what I need it for. So I don't need to upgrade. I'm curious to see what the 5090 is going to offer over the 4090, just because the 4090 is not a bottleneck on anything in any game that I've played. It's all been the CPU at this point, especially with frame generation. If your game offers frame gen, then you're able to make up for the shortcomings of the CPU on your GPU. And so I really don't know what they're going to offer on that 5090. I have no idea. I'm curious, but I just really don't see anything worth the upgrade if I'm already capped out on the 4090, you know? Going for a pretty budget pre-built build. We'll eventually build one, but I think for now a pre-built will do. Hey, I am still running Windows on a drive that came with a pre-built iBuy power. So there are some very major advantages that you get from buying pre-built, namely a warranty. So if you have any problems with it, you have somebody to call. That their whole dedicated job is just to deal with computer issues for people who bought their computers, right? So that's good.
Let's see.
And then just make sure you pick a good brand. Like NZXT will overcharge you a little bit, but their stuff is really good. iBuy Power is bare bones, but they tend to be really good about not installing a bunch of bloatware on the machine, so you tend to get better performance per dollar for iBuy Power, and they use top-notch components and everything like that. You're just not guaranteed, you know, certain brands and things like that in their computers. But that's what I went with, was iBuy Power, and I didn't regret it. NZXT, iBuy Power, Dell is very overcharged, and their cases usually don't have very good ventilation, so I'd stay away from them. But you can get good deals from them every once in a while on clearance and things like that. Their monitors are great. I'm a fan of Dell monitors for sure. Dell/Alienware. Looking into cyber powered PCs, yeah, those aren't bad either. It just, when I was buying a pre-built, like, you know, 5-10 years ago, it was cyber power versus iBuy Power, and iBuy Power had the price advantage. UK brand? Yeah, save on shipping for sure. Depends always how hard you mod Skyrim, but it can be, it caps faster for CPU than GPU. Remember, it's kind of an old game. Yeah, and it's very single process driven, right? I don't think Skyrim, even with mods, enables multi-processor support on the game, so you're pretty much you're pretty much limited to what one single core can do on your CPU, and that pretty much comes down to just frequency. So a lot of the newer generation CPUs, the frequency is about the same, if not lower, but they'll give you more cores, they'll give you more threading process, more threading capacity, and then they'll give you better like front side and back side buses to talk to memory and things like that. But really, for single core processes, you really just want that top end clock speed. And right now I have this overclocked to like 5 gigahertz, so that's not
A most pleasant chat.
I'm not getting any any benefit for upgrading my CPU at this point unless I can overclock it even further. But even then, it's only going to be a few frames per second. Does not really support multi-threads. That can be a problem often. Yes, indeed. And draw counts, just that's an engine limitation, but so you may not even be maxing out your CPU and your GPU, but the game engine itself, through its draw counts, and there's only a certain amount of objects it's going to allow on screen before it starts, you know, tanking your performance. Okay. What next are we doing here? That was that taken care of. Okay, so while we're here, next thing we're going to do is Mightier Than the Sword. This is a quest added by that full AE upgrade that added all of the Creation Club stuff before they started their single tier creations modding page. So this is an alternative armor, the Dwarven plate. This is what we're going to be using next, and we need to go to Reachwind Eyrie to do that. And we also do have a miscellaneous quest regarding Fathomable Depths. Where'd the quest go? Do I have to read the... Spell tome? There's an unread thing here somewhere. Small note. No, not that one. Something about Reachwind Eyrie or Eerie. Read all of these. Bounty Glassfish. Here we go. Activity and Reachwind Eyrie. So we'll do two birds and one stone. There's an Argonian up there that believes he's Dwemer-born, not Dragonborn, or Dwarven-born. Kind of a kook. I don't know that there's any real quest involved up there. He might become available as a follower at some point, but yeah, we can take care of both of them. Right now, though, let's take all this Dwemer scrap that we got and let's see if we can turn it into Dwarven ingots. There's probably a lot of it that we can't, but a lot of it that we can. Just while we have access to a smelter close by here, I want to take care of it now. Reachwind Eyrie. I love the Dwarven-born 3D NPC. Yes, indeed. Hey, Ireshot, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. Where is Gore? Gore has all my Dwarven... He's going the wrong way. Damn it, Gore. You really gonna... It's really hard to find good help these days. What is going on here? This way. This way. You have all my Dwemer scrap, and I need... Oh, okay. So you're tired after your little swim? Gore is not the brightest. No, he's not. Okay. Don't think the gear is anything. Anything with an adjective in the name should be smeltable.
Let's go.
Okay, let's take off this stupid looking helmet. Look at Fortius's beautiful face. Ah, stop pushing.
One of the perks of fighting in the arena is
yeah, here we go. Lots of beautiful, beautiful Dwarven metal ingots. Look at that. It's worth that long dungeon dive into Chuanzel, right? Getting blown up by a invisible fire rune. 23 solid metal. Nice. I'm gonna get more dwarven metal than we're even gonna know what to do with. So much. Oh, large struts. Yes, please. Kind of turning me on over here. All these dwarven metal ingots. Sorry, I'm being real gross in the microphone for you guys. Acid Rain, welcome, welcome. How's it going? Yeah, the party's here because Mel is here. So yeah, now that we have a better crowd, Summer Games Fest and the Xbox Showcase, Ubisoft Forward, basically all the stuff that would normally happen at E3, but E3 is gone, has happened in the last week or two. What is everybody looking forward to? I honestly am looking forward to a lot now. This was supposed to be like an off year after the juggernaut that 2024 was. But or 2023. Wow, look at that, 348 Dwarven ingots. That's awesome. All right. But yeah, a lot of good showcases. Perfect Dark Zero looks really good as an immersive sim. I think Assassin's Creed Shadows for me stole the show, though. Avowed looked a lot better than it had previously. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Obsidian stuff, which I think will get me in trouble with a lot of people. New Vegas I played through and I enjoyed it, but I prefer the BGS take on gaming over Obsidian stuff. Outer Worlds was good. I was able to appreciate it for what it was worth, but I tried it on its two separate occasions and I couldn't finish it. Something just about the sterility of the game world there and lack of exploration kind of turned me off of that. But Avowed, I wasn't too stoked for it at the first showing, where it kind of looked like a VR arena game. But now it looks good. It looks good now. But Assassin's Creed Shadows looks good. What else? There's a lot of stuff coming out. 348, geez, yes. Avowed was supposed to be almost a Skyrim alternative. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna hit that. But it would be more of kind of a break from Skyrim, I'm thinking. I don't think it's gonna replace Skyrim anytime soon. So many cool games, yeah, buddy. They were trying to be like Skyrim, if I'm thinking about the right game. So I don't know. It seems like for people who prefer the BGS games, you know, Skyrim, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, and Oblivion, opposed to the Obsidian stuff, I don't think that Obsidian's trying to copy BGS or BGS is trying to copy Obsidian. I think they both had very similar roots to where they were coming. Which is kind of like, I feel like the Elder Scrolls Arena was more of a 3D take at the time of things like Baldur's Gate and the CRPG isometric, like heavy RPGs, right? I feel like they just both started at the same place and they both evolved in a very similar way. I don't think that Obsidian's trying to copy BGS. I think they just ended up evolving in a very similar way to a very similar spot. They both have what they do better than the other one. They have their strengths and they have their weaknesses. BGS is better at that AAA experience with, you know, the gameplay and the huge universes and play times, inflated play times, and crafting systems, and just really fleshing out all their stuff to be more of a fully fledged AAA game. Obsidian does their deeper, more personal storylines and dialogue and character progression a lot better, I think.
The wind blows bitter cold in this place. Take a look.
Don't really have much to sell. I think Gore has everything. I do want to see... So the Rare Curios creation that you get for free with the Skyrim update, it does have some very, very powerful ingredients, alchemical ingredients. So whenever you see a Khajiit caravan, go and check for non-vanilla ingredients and buy them all because they have very powerful effects. So a lot of them have the same effects as vanilla, but just boosted up 50% when you create your potion. So especially for like crafting materials and things like that. Or not crafting materials, but alchemical ingredients that have alchemical effects attached to them. Super, super worth it. Your mod watch link doesn't seem to be working. I just updated that. Somebody complained about that last week too. I think ModWatch has some nonsense going on. Let me fix that real quick. I fixed that last week in a stream as well. Pain in my ass. All I had to do was just re-upload and it was working fine. Let me check this out here. Yep, that definitely is not working anymore. Let's try this. This is exactly the same thing that happened last week. Oh, it said something about the server, ModWatch API server not responding. Yeah, ModWatch is just down. Sorry about that. Nothing I can do. Definitely broken. Also, just seen Valve's apparently been sued for $843 million. What for? Are they trying to do, monopoly busting or something? Antitrust lawsuit or something? That's the only thing I can think of. They definitely don't have a monopoly, but they are the best option opposed to Epic and everybody else's storefront. Shadow of the Erd Tree is coming out soon as well. All I know is I walked into you saying ingots were sexy. At least I think ingots are sexy when you're playing a smith, for sure. There's a demo-like event going on right now. Oh yeah, Steam Next Fest. A lot of people are very stoked about that. I tend to just let everybody else figure out what indie games are good, and then I'll play those. I have too many like other games on my backlog to be just rapid firing, trying out indie demos. But yeah, Steam Next Fest is an indie demo festival that they put out there every year. Kind of a big deal, actually. PC Gamer, Valve is being sued in the UK for £656 million over claims that it uses Steam's dominance in the PC gaming marketplace to shut out competitions and overcharge for games. Interesting. Wow, okay. Are they going out of their way to overcharge for games though, or is it just lack of competition that lets them set the prices? Because they do have some very cheap prices when they go on sale. You can get a ton of really, really good games that are a few years old for, you know, $5-10 bucks, 5-10 quid all the time. I don't know. And typically they're very pro-consumer too, which if they are getting sued for consumer advocacy, We'll see how it pans out. Found a really cool game. The building system is amazing. Just a cozy game, but the tech will be something new for other companies in the future. Okay, what game? The suit also alleges that Steam's preeminence has enabled Valve to continue charging an excessive commission of up to 30% to game publishers, which in turn results in inflated prices to the consumer. Okay, yeah, that makes a little more sense. That is a pretty nasty cut. That is a pretty nasty tree. Just the roots. Ugh. Alright, I'll just pretend like I didn't see that. I could just completely remove that tree, but from a distance it looks good. Scratch that. I like that the tree is there. I don't like how its roots are exposed. Maybe I'll get rid of that.
What are your thoughts on this?
Not gonna do that on stream though.
Was a legionnaire. His before him.
Hey, fellow legionnaires, what's up?
Anything else?
We haven't started our legionnaire sprint yet, but we will eventually. Gore still has a lot to teach us before we're going to be able to lend our utmost support to the Legion. Game companies are insanely greedy. At least Steam puts a lot of money into its user experience. They're, you know, review bombing is an issue for games that are actually good, but games that people don't like I kind of take exception to the fact that Starfield goes around to mostly negative to mixed. Mixed, I can swallow that, but mostly negative. Come on, it's a good game. It's a really good game. That just the negative hate train bandwagon on that has caused people to. But anyway, people should have the ability to voice their opinion through user reviews and things like that, and that's something that Epic does not allow. Whereas Steam is very consumer and Steam focused, Epic is very developer and publisher focused, which is honestly worse than what Steam has going on. It's just Steam has such a huge market share right now that Epic gets away with a lot more than it should. In my opinion, I don't give my support to Epic. Say what you will about Steam, but it is very pro-consumer. With its return policy, user reviews, user forums. Not to mention what it does for VR frameworks that it doesn't have to do. Really enables a lot of VR gaming. Makes it easier for developers for sure. So I guess you can call me a Steam fanboy if you want. That 30% cut is harsh, but they're taking that cut from greedy publishers. You know, like your Epic, like your Blizzard, like your Activision and your Bethesda. And it's giving it to the consumer in terms of advocacy, having such a lenient return policy, all the things that piss off publishers is actually good for the consumer. Maybe it costs us a little extra indirectly through price hikes because of that cut, but at least Steam is giving it back to us in terms of a platform that actually supports us. Okay, these are the looters now that we're dealing with for the Dwarven plate mail. So there were a couple that we had to deal with. They weren't too tough. A lot of this AE stuff is unleveled, so you can go into it underleveled and get just completely whomped on. So far, this isn't too bad. I got the shield out right now because these are tight quarters. The guy was stuck in the wall. You okay there, Dwarvenborn?
A visitor.
He's tall.
Word travels fast, it seems. As fast
I'm either
as
dealing with camera
time
clipping or I'm dealing with
flies,
staring right
which
at
makes
Two Tails'
sense,
chin
given
here.
that they're both a type of bird.
Just under $1 billion is insanity. Yeah, I tend to agree. Like, money is completely meaningless anymore. Like, what happened?
Two Tails. I am he.
We can't even fathom $100 million. Like, most of us have no idea what it would be like to spend $100 million, let alone $1 billion, $1,000 million. That makes sense. Take $1 million and what you could buy with $1 million and multiply that by 1,000 and you have $1 billion. That's like unreasonable, right? Who needs $1 billion? I don't know. It's just completely unfathomable to me. It's like it's made up Monopoly numbers. We as peasants can't understand that kind of money. Absolutely, it's beyond reality for us. Even $100 million is completely beyond reality, right? If you have more money than you can spend in your lifetime and that your children can spend in a lifetime and that your children's children can spend in a lifetime, then that's too much money. But that's not that's just greed at that point. Like, come on, what are we doing, people? How interesting, what sort of power? I'd like to know more about this god eater. Yeah, I don't know. Was that enough to clear the quest? Appear not to have a quest for this. Whatever. I'm just here for the armor. Don't want to read that book yet. I'm saving that for later. I want common soul gem. I want this satchel. Tag item. Thank you. Cheese and rice. Think that's even too rich to have a credit score, unlike us peasants? Yeah, seriously. That's how you know something's busted. Dwarven plate armor. This is what we came here for. Actually, it's not enchanted, though. Really want an enchanted set, so I'll have to look at that. Iron Warhammer of Crushing. Got Magic Curse and Rune. Anybody know off the top of their head Cassaval's note? Over the course of his life, a man wears many faces and goes by many names. Son, father, fugitive, bandit. I never thought I would include Argonian writer among those titles, but so it goes. When Palladius taught me how to write, I didn't think I'd take it to the way I have. Maybe if the gods had given me a pen instead of a sword, I wouldn't have spent my life writing books instead of... I would have spent my life writing books instead of sacking caravans. Well, too late to whine about it now. Feel like I missed something there. As for the name, it comes from a conversation I had with Pale Eyes one night at the Grey Mare in Coral. I asked him why Argonian names are so literal, and his reply was, "Why aren't yours?" I laughed, realizing I was bested, so I asked him to give me an Argonian name, one that suited someone of my ilk. And so, from then on, I was Gathers the Coin. The funny thing about an Argonian name is I wasn't sure if it was meant to define the person I was or the one I aspired to be. I suppose the point is moot now. I'll probably die in this tower without a septum to my name, but at least if I keep writing, people will know our story and know that we once lived. These are the Crimson Dirks, so... Usually they wield enchanted versions of this alternate armor, and I've so far only found an unenchanted version of the Dwemer plate. If I go out here. a trillion, we might not well even think about that. Yeah, I think Microsoft is valued at like $9 trillion or something like that, which is unbelievable. I want to buy a 4090. Nice. Yeah, 4090s are, I mean, okay, I have a 4090, right? And they are expensive. But also, when you stack them against like the lower tiers of the GPUs, I feel like the value, the value proposition, the performance per dollar. Nordic Dwemer Blade. I can make one of those if I want. It's really actually better for the 4090 than it is the lower tier cards this generation, which kind of sucks, right? The performance per dollar you get from a 4090, at least when I bought the 4090, is better than, you know, the mid tiers, the 4070s, the 4070 Ti's, the 4060s.
Yeah.
And they used to be not that way, right? These came from the Titan cards. And it was like, okay, it's not worth the money. You're not going to use that extra performance boost on pretty much any game. Just go with your, if you want to stick high end, go with your 80 series stuff. If you want your performance per dollar, stick with the 70 series. You're trying to do budget, stick with the 60 series. But now it's like, you know what, there is an actual real value proposition to these 90 series cards. So that's why I went from the 3080 that I had before to the 4090. America is in debt by about 30. Yeah, that's nothing new. At least with the interest rate hikes that we've been having, you know, there's a lot of politics to that I don't want to get into. But the one good thing is that it's, you know, that debt has been going down because of the interest that they've been collecting through higher interest rates. So, yeah. There are good things, there are bad things. Some people think it's better, some people think it's worse. The reality of it is it's both, and it's just different. And the reality remains that we do have it better here than most other places in the world, at least in terms of economy and how far your dollar goes. And just the availability of goods, so just trying to get comfortable with it. America is the GOAT. America. Of course, I would eventually like an actual gaming PC, but I'm good with my cloud PC. I can stream and play on it, and I'm happy. Yeah, the only thing... I play a lot of action games, right? So, arcade games, and I like to play them online. Competitive fighting games and things like that. So just the added input latency from the cloud machine to the game, and like it's just a little bit too much input latency from the controller to what actually happens in the game for me. So I like that the physical machine. There's got to be a quest for this, right? Let me see here. No, look at that. There's not an enchanted version of the Dwarven plate stuff. No issues for normal. Yeah, for single player, even online stuff that's non-competitive, it works fine for most people. As long as you have a good internet connection, a good stable internet connection with low ping, you're good. Also, if like your significant other or something is streaming like 4K video while you're trying to play a game, that could be an issue. Oh, I need that mod watch page. So physical hardware is still the best way to do it, but for most people, casual gaming, and even some like AAA, like hardcore gaming, the cloud stuff works just fine. Just fine. So there's no shame in using that, Mel. Absolutely not. Don't let anybody shame you for using a cloud service. It works for a lot of people. It's probably the future in a lot of ways, to be honest, but I hope that the market for physical gaming equipment never goes away, because I like that lagless experience. Okay, what am I doing here? It's 2 pieces of heavy dwarven armor, so we get the boots and we get the chest piece, but no enchanted equivalent like we do for everything else. Man, that sucks. There's nobody even talking about this. Well, that sucks. Guarantee there are trillionaires out there, but obviously they're so rich they're just out of the public eye, or they're in Russia where those things don't, where the oligarchs are running wild. They don't have to report. No issues for normal gaming. I don't notice it because I'm not playing competitively. WoW, and didn't notice. Okay, cool. I had business internet. Oh, cool. Yeah, so it's good. Been with them for like 5 years. Thank you for not shaming. Yeah, no problem. Do what works for you. I'm not opinionated. There's a sub and I couldn't resist. Your beautiful deep voice vibrated the very fabrics of my existence. Wow. Turning me on a little bit here, making me blush. No, thank you for the sub and the like. That's awesome. Welcome aboard. Hope you're doing well, having a good weekend. Enjoying the company. It's cool because I never have to upgrade hardware. Yes, you never have to worry about it at all. What ending did you go with in Elden Ring? What one did I go with? Geez, it's been so long now. So it took me like 200 hours just to get the one ending, and I don't really remember what it was. It didn't seem like a bad ending. Damn, now I don't remember. Was it the Ronnie ending, maybe? Oh, thanks for the shout out for Mel there, Hoster. You're a good dude. Okay, so what's next? So, yeah, I guess we just craft up. Let's do Unfathomable Depths. Say that 10 times fast. Okay, we're going to take a carriage ride now to Riften, I think. Let's see, is there a carriage stop over there? We got about 40 minutes left in my streaming window to do this. So, yeah, it looks like about halfway between Riften and Iverstead. Let's just go to Riften. We can take this carriage there. We can shack up in Riften for the night, and then we will head out to...
You need a good care. Where do you want to go?
Wherever that place is. All these Dwarven names kind of run together. Metal Gear Solid, yeah, that looks good too. I was really concerned about that one because that is a classic, and people, Kojima fans, are like very, very protective over that IP. And Konami has really messed it up before, so I was cautious about that one too. But it does look good. It looks like they're staying pretty true to the original with just upgraded camera movement, but you can keep the fixed camera the same too if you want. Graphics look good. Just looks like, you know, a graphical overhaul, and everything else is the same, which is all that game really needed. I want to be as cool as Karn, of course, without the beautiful beard. Oh, thanks. Hey, this beard is a lot of work, right? Take a little bit of flack from the wife and some coworkers about the beard, but you know what? I do put a lot of work into this beard. It's a lot more work than just shaving every day. That is for sure. Okay. Actually, the wife is coming around on the beard lately too. I keep it smelling nice, and it's nice and soft and cuddly. She doesn't mind that.
Neither of them have enough meat.
Let's see. Making me inspired, you guys. Yeah. You need to do more with your Twitch channel. Twitch manual. Stumbling over my words. Everybody talking about my awesome voice and how cool I am, and now I'm just blah 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 blah. All right, so what are we doing here in Riften? Yes, we're gonna spend the night here, and then we're gonna take a little cross-country trip to what is that place called? Avanchenzel. Yes, indeed.
Maybe I'll show you one day, Medesi. Have them delivered to the bunker.
Beard oil? Yes, I spend a small fortune on my beard products. So I have a special soap and conditioner that I use for it to clean it off in the shower, and it also works well for your face. It keeps the wrinkles down a little bit. It's hard to look younger with a big gray beard, but I do want to take care of my skin. We're gonna have to hand in my man card after this, I think.
Sure thing.
But yeah, so I have some special shampoos and conditioners and soaps for it, and also I do have an oil to keep the skin underneath it nice and hydrated.
Yes.
And it does add like a nice little shine to the beard too. But I also do have a leave-in conditioner for it that smells really nice. That if I
understand.
am going out somewhere nice to keep it like shiny and smelling good and looking
my friend. Up for some fishing this week.
Presentable and also like being manageable as far as being able to comb it and shape it. Yeah, I have like a cream conditioner that I put in it as well.
It's not funny, boy. People are scared.
Okay, let's pray. We are actually worshipping RK now. I've gotten pretty much to the cap with Kinnereth. And the stamina regeneration and everything was nice, and the movement speed was nice, but I really wanted to try something else. The devotee reward that you get was that mountable frost saber cat that you could ride around, but that wasn't compatible with convenient horses, so it was just a vanilla mount, and it really doesn't fit with the theme with the character anyway, so I switched over to RK, which was available in Whiterun through the Hall of the Dead. So we'll see what RK gives us. It gives us a nice little boost against undead. We haven't really been fighting any undead lately. But yeah, made that switch there. Oh yeah, having a beard dries out your face a little bit. A beard grooming hygiene kits is a must. Yes, indeed, indeed. Such a beard is a proud piece of work. I know what I talk about. Yeah, Bale, you're rocking a beard too? It says in your, or it actually shows in your little avatar there, but I don't think I've actually ever seen your actual face. But I know you to be a beard guy, a fellow beard advocate.
Now this is a temple.
Which I appreciate. Not everybody can do it, so I feel like an obligation, a responsibility, if I can grow a beard like this, to have an awesome beard. It's not a privilege, it's a responsibility. Beard here as well with Silent Echo. Nice, buddy. Bought some for my partner and his beard is nice and soft now. Nice, yes. The products do make a difference for sure. Just like head hair. You got your goatee? Yeah, I've seen Mr. B's goatee. He keeps that thing shaped up pretty nicely. Takes care of it.
Just remember, everything's but
Beautiful baubles and gleaming gemstones.
Okay, we'll let Gore hold on to that. The Dwarven plate stuff is what he is... No, he's actually wearing regular Dwarven stuff, I think. I'll have to check on that. The Dwarven plate stuff will differentiate me a little bit. I do want to get rid of this encumbrance right now so we can take on Avancenzel and not have to worry about holding on to too much stuff. Actually, I'm not holding on to much anymore. I think it's just the 348 dwarven ingots. That's a lot of dwarven stuff. Okay. So yeah, let's go take on Avancenzel. This is going to give us a nice little boost to how much we can temper our dwarven stuff. Weapons and armor. Black fur hood looks good with the orcish plate armor. Nice. The orcish plates is going to be the next one. So I said at the beginning of the stream, we had a little bit of a slow start to the stream as people filtered in, but I was going over kind of the roleplay opportunity that being a smithing major skill character can give us, especially for the warrior here. I feel like each new material type that we take on for our gear gives us a roleplay opportunity to kind of like switch up our personality a little bit. So I was going to say the steel and iron stuff is pretty ubiquitous. There's not really much personality each one has, but then when you start getting into like the racial materials, like Dwarven, Orcish, and then like the Nordic plate stuff, then you can start kind of weaving that into the guy's personality and progression as a person, right? As he starts looking into like the Dwarven plate armor, for example, he's gonna start, you know, becoming more interested in things like the sciencey aspect of his smithing craft, more into like logic and science as academia, because that kind of reflects the Dwarven personality, right? He's going to become a little more scholarly with the Dwarven stuff. And then as he moves into the Orcish stuff, he's going to become a little more bloodthirsty, a little more brutal in combat, a little more harsh with his personality. And then as he moves into the Nordic stuff, it's still going to be like bloodthirsty a little bit, but more like in terms of honor and glory is what he's looking for. So there's that. And then with the dragon bone stuff, dragons tend to be extremely smart and powerful, but also kind of arrogant. So he's going to start taking that stuff on a little bit. So once we switch over to the Dwarven stuff, he's going to be a little bit more scholarly. Maybe we can even take on like the Mages Guild, even though we're not going to be doing any mage training or anything. We can take on that that quest line as a warrior just fine. It is magic themed, but you don't have to be a magic caster to do it. I also finished up the Malakath quest line. So what? Wow, this guy's badass with the fire, with the flame cloak. Who is this? Just a bounty hunter? Cool. So your warrior is like a weapons master. That's how I feel like Kodlak is. But yes. So if you only have a certain amount of perks that you can spread out, right? So being a weapon master that's good with all weapons kind of means you're going to be like more of a jack of all trades and a master of none. It's unless you get to really high levels, you can't really master each weapon type. But there are ways to kind of fudge it. If you focus on the more general perks that aren't so focused on one weapon type, you can still be really strong. But the main X factor, the main equalizer here is the smithing skill. With a whole lot of smithing and a little bit of enchanting, you can make any weapon type really good. And then especially if you have perks in like the power attack perks that make each power attack stronger and cost less, and things like running power attacks make it are more powerful. And then there's a sub-tree in the two-handed skill tree that makes it so that you have like a guaranteed proc of a huge increase in attack speed, and then you also have a small chance of triggering your currently equipped power with a two-handed attack. Things like that go a long way toward being able to swap out weapon skills. And being able to swap out weapons is a huge aspect of the gameplay for this warrior. And that's how I'm trying to spice up what is usually considered... I feel like I'm being attacked by a spider here. Yeah, I heard the poison hit. Being able to spice up a basic class like this, like a warrior class, a mage class, or a thief class, is what you can do around the fringes and what kind of X factors you can find to add more spice to the gameplay. And I think the weapon switching aspect is something that I'm going to be leaning into a lot with this warrior. And that's going to be reflected in the enchantments that I pick. So for like the bow right now in the enchantment, I've picked, they're all kind of like low-level enchantments now because I'm not investing any perks in the enchanting tree, and I've only got like level 50 or whatever in enchanting, even though I'm using Grand Soul Gems. So preventing magicka and stamina regeneration for a few seconds is really good. Let them wear out their magicka or stamina. With Wildcat, having a disadvantage in stamina is huge. It's a huge advantage for you. Through things like just everything. You take more damage, you do less damage if you're out of stamina. So applying that to enemies is really good from a range, and then as they get closer, I can switch to the spear, which has a ton of range, and this one actually damages their armor rating. So if I can chip away at their armor with the spear and then switch to the sword, which does poison damage, a stacking poison damage at that, so we're going to be attacking somebody who is tired, who has reduced armor. So our regular swipes with the sword are going to be doing more damage, and we're going to be stacking on poison damage on top of that. So it's kind of a progression that I've been dealing with. That to me is a lot more interesting than just, okay, I'm a sword and board warrior who's just going to run up and start mashing a button. Right? There is juice there. There is interesting synergies and combos to be had with just a basic warrior class with an Irem. So that's what I'm leaning into, for sure. Hope that sounds interesting and fun to people, because it has been interesting and fun to build, for sure. And I keep saying for sure over and over again.
Got them all over town.
So a master of arms, like the combination. Yes, indeed. Indeed. I kind of want to get to a point where he can find like just some random enchanted powerful weapon or like a Daedric artifact to be able to pick it up and use it seamlessly. Hey, we got a subscription from Monkey Angst. Ooh, awesome screen name. I have a lot of Monkey Angst. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you and welcome aboard. That's awesome. Let me catch up here. Well, he's playing the classic version of the warrior, similar to how it was set up in Morrowind and Oblivion, where the warrior can wield each and every weapon. Yes, indeed. That's what I'm leaning into. Yeah, that's how a pure warrior should be. I think fight to your advantage, plus the versatility depending on the situation. Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of against the meta of focusing on one offensive output, damage output type. So that would be like a one-handed, like focusing all of your perk points and everything into the one-handed skill tree is technically more effective than spreading those perk points out amongst different offensive skills like archery, two-handed and one-handed. But that's what gives the warrior its kind of special identity, I think, and so that's what I want to lean into. Gonna buy a new keyboard and headset, but I still have an underlying issue about drivers updating that I still got to figure out. Dang, man. Oh, was that was it you who was dealing with that power spike? Or was it somebody else? I've had coworkers dealing with technical issues all week, so like if I see something on Discord, it kind of mixes up in my brain.
I don't like this place. It feels like we're being...
I think somebody had a power spike that went through the surge protector and kind of zapped USB.
We steal the lexicon, we leave. Don't get jumpy.
USB ports.
Cannot handle this, we can find others.
Yeah, that was you. Okay, I thought so.
Enough.
Man, that sucks, dude.
Services will be more than adequate. Let us continue.
I hope you don't have to make any like expensive repairs. Hopefully, it was just the You know, just the headset and the mouse. The perk in my heavy armor skill tree where you, or in the heavy armor skill tree where you take no fall damage is cool. Yeah, I haven't hit that yet just because I'm more trying to lean into survivability. But especially with like the jump attack mod that I have, you can do like a massive jumping power attack and like land the power attack just as you land on the ground and take no damage. That would be kind of a cool entry into combat. That perk would be even better if it were like the Fallout 4 power armor, where you hit the ground, don't take any damage, but also send out a shockwave. That would be really cool. I know that the orcs with Imperius have a shockwave that they get when they jump, and I do plan on taking. Oh shit! Sorry. Pardon my French. Ooh, got me with that claw attack there. Gore, you good, man? But yeah, I do plan on heavily leveraging that with a barbarian build at some point. I do like a barbarian class, and it is a challenging class to play. But with an Irem, I think you can make it work and be viable at high levels. Do you maybe know dual-wielding axe and dagger should count for both specialized perks? Yes. I am not fully skilled into it now, but guess they would count both. Yes, they would. Using axe and dagger for my Stormborn. Yes, and that is actually a pro tip for dual-wielding. Dual-wielding's tough because you really forego a lot of defense. Especially because in melee combat, this is your most powerful weapon. The lowly bash, because of how it allows you to stagger lock or stun lock an opponent. It's your quickest melee attack. It also causes stagger very reliably. With dual wielding, you do not have that. So for dual wielding, you want to lean into like a dodge mechanic, or if you have a dual wielding block mod that you can run. I have one that I don't run, but I have it set up to where if I'm standing still, either standing still or walking backwards will give you a dual wielding block, but I don't run it. But if you're gonna specialize with dual wielding, you want some kind of defensive mechanic. Also, a single foosh shout recovers very quickly, but also causes a stagger. You can use that defensively and to open up your offense as well. So that could be a good substitute. But you really make up for it in terms of damage output with that dual wield power attack. And if you have a dagger in your left hand, that dual wield dagger attack is very, very fast, regardless of what you have in your right hand.
That's impressive.
So with the correct like enchanting and stuff like that, dual wielding can be viable and very powerful. And I do want to do like a guide on dual wielding at some point. I'm just not there yet, and the warrior is just not a dual wielder, because that's something you kind of have to specialize in. Okay, let's go take care of this balcony area first. Guys, it's that part in the stream where I start getting hungry and talk about food and make everybody else in the stream hungry, because I always come up with the best ideas for food. I kind of want a massive, greasy BLT with fries on the side. I don't need any more Dwemer ingots. I was gonna pick up that strut and I was like, nope, don't need it. Have 350 Dwemer ingots ready to go now. Okay, I'm gonna see how this goes. I am going to forego my shield for the armor rating damage from the spear here. I also do have the perk that adds more damage to my bashes based on how much stamina I have. So that helps a little bit. Hard from the outside. This is where we come out. So it should activate both perks. Yes, indeed it should. Yeah, so yeah, dual wielding is very perk expensive, but like I said, you do have a great potential for lots of power there. Yeah, to max out dual wielding, you'll want the full dual wielding sub tree in the one-handed tree, but also the full trees. Maybe barring some of the directional power attack stuff, you don't really need. Standing power attack is all you need for that. Although you can make use of those like directional power attacks. That's one nice thing about the versatility of dual wielding, is that you don't always have to dual wield attack, right? You don't always have to use that dual wield attack. Sometimes you can use the single attacks too. And with Ordinator, those kind of give you a lot of different things that you can do. I went the wrong way. A lot of different effects that you can take advantage of. Is that the Kvechi armor? This is Steel Soldier armor. Steel Soldiers, I believe. Yes, Silent Echo had it right. This is the AE stuff. It does kind of have that Kvechi armor look, though, to it. A little bit. Might have been the same guy who did it. You never know. Well, actually, you probably do know at this point.
You should head down there.
I think Bethesda has been doing a good job of crediting its creation authors, at least. It has a stormtrooper look to it too, which I think was the main inspiration for this one. Okay, block is actually holding up really well here without a shield. Okay. Spear is working fine. Don't really need the shield against the sphere, and the sphere is no slouch. I think the dagger in the left hand, not the right hand, Haster. Left hand dagger attacks, you can put anything you want in your right hand, but it'll always take the speed of the dagger in your left hand. That's the way I've always done it anyway, and you get a lot of speed there. In fact, we can actually test that out in game here as soon as I have a moment of no enemies. Want to make sure we got the right information going out to Bayo there, and anybody else who is interested in dual wielding. Gore, you gonna help out with me a little bit here with these spiders? You slacker. Even if it matters in which hand, it is for me the kind of roleplay thing to have it as a side weapon to the axe. Yeah, fortunately, I think the gameplay mechanics help out with that too. So let's see. We have, we'll do an iron dagger in one hand because that's the lightest weapon we're gonna have. And then we'll put a dragon bone mace in the right hand, which is the heaviest. So with that, the iron dagger, oops, the hell did I do? Okay, so the iron mace, this is how slow the attack is in the right hand. This is how fast the attack is in the left hand. With a dual wield, very quick. If we switch, it's actually very fast. If we switch to dragon bone mace in the left hand and iron dagger in the right hand, oh yeah, noticeably slower. So yeah, fast weapon in the left hand, slow weapon in the right hand. And I'm just gonna ditch these. I don't have to reload a save. And I don't want to have armor and stuff that I didn't earn. Where's my shield? Here we go. Yeah, no worry. I'm not trying to call you out on being wrong, or I don't have the need to be right. I just want to make sure the correct information gets out there. Okay, let's see. As well, it is a dodge and modern combat overhaul game. Oh, I don't have the modern combat overhauls. I kind of like Skyrim to feel like Skyrim, but I do like the dodge mechanic. Also, you need dual wheel parry, I feel like. Yeah, I mean, as long as you have one or the other, you just need a defensive option, a serviceable defensive option. It's more of the secondary stuff. It will probably become something interesting. Everything needs a kind of a thing or twist. I know my workarounds. Yes, indeed. Indeed, indeed. You need that twist to keep things interesting, especially with a 12, 13-year-old game at this point. Mods help, but if you're still running in that same game engine, there's only so far that you can go to keep it interesting. Yeah, spiders everywhere. In the case with the zappy spiders, I want to keep the shield out because it has that reactive barrier enchantment on it. Give me a little bit more resistance to that shock damage. But yes, I would like to concentrate on the spear a little more because my two-handed skill is lagging behind my one-handed skill a little bit. Running the most recent Novus setup, do they have like the Souls-like combat animation mods and stuff? With the weapon sets and the move sets and stuff like that in Novus now? Because I'm running Novus too, but this is like 4 or 5 years old at this point. Wow, okay. That physical trap seemed deadly, but with the armor that I'm running right now, that didn't actually hurt that bad. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick save right here because this room always bugs out my sound. Adders. If the target leaves combat within 60 seconds, halves its remaining health. This is great for assassins. I've used this before, I think with my acrobat build. This is great if you're sneaky and you can get them with a sneak attack shot and then they start looking for you. That means they enter combat, but they may never find you. And then when they stop looking for you, they take 50% health damage. It's a really awesome enchantment. Big fan. Some of the animations are too out of place, I submit, but this setup keeps it fresh for me in the new combat stuff. Yes, indeed, indeed. For me, I did play Elden Ring. I do like the Souls games. So, and it kind of plays the same way in Assassin's Creed, and I do play those games and stuff too. That's why they call it, I guess, the modern combat overhauls, because that's how modern games work with the lock-on systems and stuff like that. I get my fill on that from actually playing the modern games. If I'm going back to Skyrim, I kind of just want it to feel like Skyrim. That's my personal... I realize why people like to play it. It is, like, on a lot of different levels, objectively better for the combat system. But I am an Irem first and foremost. I like the way he's done his overhauls. And a lot of those animation overhauls and combat system overhauls just aren't really compatible with a lot of the perks from Ordinator. So kind of forgo those. Not yet played the Elden Ring stuff. Oh, it's good stuff. But it's kind of like Skyrim in that there's so much to learn and so much to get good at that it's like it's hard to just put like your 40 or 50 hours into it and move on. It took me 200 hours to get through the first playthrough of it. And there are tons of different endings. And even if that first playthrough, I was on the wiki and looking up guides on YouTube pretty much every day. Trying to get my build to work correctly and find all the different weapons that I needed to find.
And yet none of us can pick a damn lock.
Because in Elden Ring, like the new weapons and stuff, you can buy some of them, but for the most part, they're all unique weapons that you need to find in specific places. So if you're looking for a certain piece of equipment to enable a build that you're going for, then you kind of need to go look it up. And that's how the community, the Souls community, thrives, right? It's not with creating these unique builds and everything like it is for Skyrim. It's just finding out everything that there is to learn about the game and posting it on a wiki or a video somewhere for everybody to know about. Most of my time playing games went into ARPGs, PoE, and the last Epoch last year. Yeah, Diablo 4 is in a really good place right now. You might actually really like Diablo 4. But yeah, a lot of people that didn't like the state of Diablo 4 at launch went into last Epoch and really liked that. There was some depth there that Diablo 4 didn't have. But I really did like Diablo 4. And I continued playing it. I dipped in for each season and kind of dipped out. But Season 4 has... Diablo 4 is probably a permanent mainstay on my machine now. The way they've revamped the gear mechanics and the crafting and the loot. Well done, Blizzard. They finally found a happy spot. I hope they don't break it. This is like the loot 2.0 from Diablo 3, when everybody went from Diablo 3 bad to Diablo 3 good. This was what's going on right now in Diablo 4, which is nice. Played pre-season Diablo 4, first season a bit, and 3 again. 4 level 100 characters or so. So you put a lot of time in it. Now it is where it should be. Yeah. PoE 2 looks really cool too. Yeah, it seems... the animations and everything look really cool. They've put that dodge mechanic in there. It seems that Diablo 4 is a little faster paced. The game looks amazing. The graphics overhaul on that PoE 2 looks really good, but I don't know. It's Diablo 4. It's going to be hard to compete with Diablo 4 now. You're going to have your PoE mainstays and your Diablo 4 haters that are going to flock to PoE, but as good as PoE looks, I think that the juggernaut that Diablo 4 is now, especially with Season 4, it's going to be hard for PoE to win players from Diablo 4. And in fact, Diablo 4 is giving me all that I can handle right now in terms of time sinks and enjoyable gameplay that I'm probably not going to switch over to PoE. Personally, no matter how good PoE is, Diablo 4 is good enough, and it's a whole new game that I don't have to learn. Diablo 4 is scratching my ARPG itch, so I'm probably not going to be trying out any new ARPGs, and that's sad because there's a lot of really good ones. Wolcen's a good one. I had some fun with Grim Dawn. I think No Rest for the Wicked is an ARPG that people really like and that they're really listening to player feedback on, and that game's getting better all the time. Oh, jeez. Got some physics wonk there. Last Epoch was another one that looked really, really good that I probably will just never play because Diablo 4 is just good enough now. Not to hate on all those other games. I'm sure they're really good. It's just I don't have the time to play them. Let me catch up here. You need an RPG bachelor to be able to make sense from PoE perk trees. Yes, indeed. And that's probably why I'll never dip into PoE, just because it's too deep. I'm sure you can find build guides and stuff. Build guides are, even for Diablo 4 right now, are almost a necessity if you want to get to that end game content. But PoE is even worse. There are people who run spreadsheets and stuff for that game. That sounds more like work than play to me. Alright, let's see if I can do this without the reactive barrier. Nice, got the power attack in there. Oh yeah, I do have the sprinting power attack with the two-handed weapons doing a ton of damage now too, so I have to make sure I'm taking advantage of that. PoE needs a lot of hours, that's for sure. Yeah. And that's kind of why I'm not really playing Elden Ring right now, too, is just because it is such a demanding game for time and attention. If it weren't for Skyrim, I'd probably be all about Elden Ring. Torchlight is another one. You went back to Torchlight 2, the Diablo clone made by the dev team who made OG Diablo. Yeah, so that was, that's funny, because it all starts with Diablo. Every ARPG ever made has its roots in Diablo, right? Because Torchlight is actually the original Diablo 1 devs. PoE came from Diablo 2, hardcore Diablo 2 fans that got sick of waiting for Diablo 3, so they made their own game. And now it's its own thing. It has its own like community and sort of cult following and everything too. I think Last Epoch was the same thing except for Diablo 3. Like they got sick of waiting for Diablo 4, so they started making their own game. And unfortunately for them, Last Epoch came out around the same time as Diablo 4 did, but yeah, that's the origins of that. Oh man, I tried to do my sprinting power attack. Ah, crap. I really paid for it there. Okay, running out of stamina here. We need to let Gore take over a little bit. Gonna take a vegetable soup. Some grilled leeks. Weakness to fire. I'm not thirsty or anything, am I? No, we're good. D2 is the GOAT. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way. I played a lot of D2. I liked the art style and everything better from D2, but then Diablo 3, I liked the gameplay better. Diablo 2 is good. People swear by it still. And like you're saying, it's the GOAT. It was the greatest of all times. I wonder how much of that has to do with nostalgia, because that was like the greatest thing since sliced bread when that came out. But I feel like a lot of the systems, the gameplay especially, is very dated. With the Resurrected one, I think they added a dodge mechanic because they're catering to controller players. So the gameplay took it benefited from the dodge mechanic for sure, but like a lot of just like the gearing systems and the crafting systems and the way that they handled gems and stuff, it's kind of dated, I think, compared to Diablo 3 and Diablo 4. I haven't gone back to it personally to actually play it, but I've watched some people play it, and I'm trying to remember the way the gem systems worked with like the poison damage for, yeah, the damage types. And I feel like there's a little bit better depth in the way that Diablo 3 handles its legendary effects, and the way that Diablo 4 now handles its legendary aspects. That I feel like it would be hard for me to go back to Diablo 2, as goated as it is. Even Resurrected is good. I like the art style of Diablo. Well, that's because they use Diablo 2, the dark grittiness of Diablo 2, instead of like the more cartoony aspects of Diablo 3, which was a great design decision for sure. Fun fact, and I started making mods back during the early days of Diablo under a different alias. Yes, he did do gameplay overhauls for Diablo and Diablo 2, and it's actually very noticeable. If you play like Diablo, and then you go to Skyrim and play Ordinator, there's a lot of inspiration from Diablo in a lot of the Ordinator perks, and even in a lot of the Summer Mist enchantments and things like that too. So yeah, if you like the Skyrim gameplay overhauls, there's a good chance you might like Diablo as well in terms of pure gameplay. Of course, there's all kinds of roleplay and immersion stuff you can do in Skyrim that you can't do in Diablo. But in terms of learning better buildcraft and having a new appreciation for the different overhauls and stuff, if you like ARPGs, playing Diablo is a good way to, you know, increase your capabilities on Skyrim buildcraft and stuff too, I think. I feel like dabbling in Diablo buildcraft has made me a better Skyrim builder. Wow, 3 different draws there. Okay. Out of stamina now a little bit, and I would like the elemental resistance of the shield enchantment I'm running, so that's why I switched away from the spear and went toward the shield. Even his spells from Apocalypse. Yep, a lot of the spells from Apocalypse, and just the way he overhauled and rebalanced some of the spells in Odin. Yeah, a lot of that's all from Diablo. So yeah, it all starts with Diablo, even Skyrim here. How about that? So in a way, we're all Diablo fans. We just, not all of us know it yet.
Did I ever tell you I spent half a year in a dungeon? It took
D2 is the father of most modern
RPGs,
RPGs, but I think it just did not age well. What is understandable? Yes, I kind of agree. He modded his own perk tree in Diablo, yeah. It was a very popular one, too. Even in the spell, Frost Orb. Yep. Yep. Well, a lot of the vanilla Skyrim and Elder Scrolls spells were very inspired, or even just lift and shift from Diablo. So even the Skyrim developers, BGS themselves, took heavy inspiration from Diablo when designing their game, and their magic systems in particular. Things like Flame Wall, Firebolt, Ice Spikes, Frozen Orb, which is an Anirim spell, but Incinerate, that stuff is all, those are all Diablo spells that, you know, Diablo had first and that the Elder Scrolls added in after. So it's fun to get back to your roots every once in a while. Talking about how Diablo 2 doesn't age all that well, Diablo 1 is even worse. I wouldn't mind seeing a Diablo 1 just complete remake, like a complete reboot. Just the Diablo 1 story with updated graphics and gameplay systems, gameplay mechanics and crafting systems and things like that. That would be awesome. There's something to be said about the simplicity of, okay, we have this primeval demon here that's causing havoc on Earth, and we just need to dive into the depths of hell to kill Diablo. And then just the cathedral set pieces and stuff were really cool. I'd love to see what they could do with newer gaming technology. That kind of pissed me off about Mortal Kombat 1 as well. It's like, the game itself is fine, right? But I really, more than anything, wanted to see that original Mortal Kombat 1 story with new graphics and gaming technology. I would have loved to have a more limited roster of characters, even though that would have caused an outrage amongst a lot of players, I'm sure. But just having that original tournament with where you're floating in on that boat on that deserted island, a lot of it's like, you know, just a lift and shift from Enter the Dragon, but with more like supernatural stuff. I feel like that would have been an awesome story to play through with newer gaming technology, and they kind of screwed the pooch on that when they ruined any chance they have at a successful reboot after Mortal Kombat 1, because that was more of just a sequel than it was a reboot, and they blew their chance at a reboot now because of it. Titan's Quest is another one, yeah. I never played Titan's Quest, but I've heard of it. People liked it. Okay, enough with the looting. Let's do some more fighting. Oh wow, I'm over my time to quit the stream, but I actually want to keep playing until we get to the end of this quest. There were a certain amount of goals that I had for the stream, and I want to make sure I hit all of them. So, sorry if you got plans and you have to drop or whatever, but if you can stick around, I will appreciate the company.
I can't do this. We shouldn't be here. I'm sorry.
CDPR is moving over to Unreal. Yeah, I think Cyberpunk 2077 was the last game that they're building in the Red engine, which is sad. I hate to see it. I know it's gonna be, they're gonna have an easier time finding Unreal developers than they are, you know, trying to cultivate their own talent with their own internal technology, but I just hope it doesn't turn if every developer is using Unreal Engine now, just the games are going to become ubiquitous. The Cyberpunk looked great, it played great, especially after they, you know, fixed it. Man, I'm going to be sad to see the Red Engine go. And I really hope BGS never abandons the Creation Engine, because that will single-handedly destroy the modding community, I think. If every modder has to learn Unreal Engine to mod the Elder Scrolls or whatever, then yeah, that's going to be the death of the modding community, I think. Creation Engine is so easy to mod and to learn. Where did Gord go? You're invisible, buddy. What'd you do?
Once we have the lexicon, we'll need to take it to
I think it's the lexicon playing tricks with my mind.
Soon the lexicon's knowledge will be mine.
Ours. Soon the lexicon's knowledge will be ours.
Of course.
Still remember when Couch Warrior made Corvalane the Demon Hunter in Skyrim based upon the concept of said class in Diablo. Yeah, that was a Diablo 3 class, the Demon Hunter. Yeah, so there was a Skyrim build based off the Demon Hunter from Diablo 3 called that first appeared on like Skyforge or something like that, the website where it was just a bunch of text builds for Skyrim. And then PC Outcast actually picked that one up, and that became a huge smash hit for him. He did a build, a video build on that class, and that thing went gangbusters for him. So that became a very popular class, and I think that Couch Warrior actually based his Corvalane build off of the PC Outcast build, which was based off of the Skyforge build, which was based off of Diablo 3 class. So yeah, that's the family tree for Corvalane there. Tamriel Vault, not Skyforge. Skyforge is the newer one. Yeah, thank you, Aster. Crimson Engine is quite powerful on its own. Yeah, I agree. Cyberpunk 2077 is the best looking game of all time for my money. I haven't played all the newest stuff. I haven't played like Hellblade or anything, but the way it handles its path tracing and its ray reconstruction and just its emissive lighting, and Night City just being the perfect place to showcase all of that stuff. Yeah, that's also why I'm sad. I think that's the best looking game ever made. And now the engine's going away forever. Hopefully it's see you later and not goodbye, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing CDPR do another game from the Red Engine. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen. The chances of that happening are exceedingly small.
I can hear the lexicon. Come on.
But you never know. I don't need the ingots. I have a ton of them. Hard to say no to crafting materials when you're a smithing class, but I do have plenty of Dwarven crafting material for sure. Hellblade 2 cannot compare to its predecessor, unfortunately. I think it does compare. I think it comes up short from the reviews that I've read. I think the main complaint about Hellblade 2 compared to Hellblade 1 was just the completeness of the story. It seems like the story was cut short for a lot of people. And it doesn't lean into the isolationist aspect as much as it did in the first one, which was kind of a core fundamental of that story. But from what I've heard from the reviewers that have talked about it, says it doesn't quite hold up to the first one in terms of all that whole experience, but there are some things worthwhile in it. Notably, the graphics look amazing. The story is, and the performances are still very poignant. Especially in terms of the story, it just doesn't really hold up to the first one. But it's not a AAA. It's a AAA experience in terms of the But in terms of pricing, it's cheaper than that, and it's also less of a time investment as well. So I think, from what I've heard, it's still going to be worth my time. I'm still going to like it, and I do want to experience it. But okay, this one I do want my shield out because I do want the benefit of the magical resistance. But I do want to start it off with a sprinting power attack with the spear. So let's do this. Let's get buffed up. Let's get our rallying standard after we land that first shot. Okay, I'm going to walk you through my tactic that I'm using here. Resist magic, so I'm buffing up my character as much as possible to deal with this Centurion fight. I think I also have regenerate health somewhere here too. I do, I just didn't favorite it. Let's go ahead and do that. Something else I wanted to do. Okay, well, I'll just talk you through everything that I'm doing here. So, I'm going to get a huge amount of damage off a sprinting power attack, so that's how I'm going to open combat. So I'm going to land that sprinting power attack, hopefully, with the spear. And then I'm going to switch over to sword and board. The shield has a reactive barrier enchantment on it that gives me resistance to elemental magic when I get hit by it. I don't know that the steam attacks count as elemental magic, but I'd still like the added benefit of the... Actually, no, I'm going to stay with the spear. It's only fire, frost, and shock, so I think the steam is something completely different. But I do have the magic resistance from the potion that's going to help a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to run in with a sprinting power attack. And then I'm going to drop my rallying standard. Right there. And then hopefully I can get Gore to tank for me eventually. But I also need to, after that sprinting power attack, recharge my stamina. So I need to top off my stamina after that. Okay, so sprinting power attack, rallying standard, recharge stamina, and then just start poking the hell out of him with my spear. We're gonna try to maneuver around Gore to see if he can take point and start tanking the damage from the guy, but we're going to be on our own with the Centurion for a little while because Gore's going to be left behind when I sprint and do the power attack. I'm going to do a quick save here just in case, you know, but I will take the loss through Shadows of Skyrim if I do lose to this guy. Okay, let's get in there. I got to find the area, the angle of attack first because this is a little rough. Okay, and he is a Centurion Guardian. This is a big one. Okay, he is indeed in there with Gore now. All right, there you go. Tactics for the win. Got our rallying standard up with, I'm actually flying Imperial colors for this one. Hard to see, but that is the Imperial Dragon up there. Okay. There we go. That went well. Tactics for the win. Shadow of the Colossus is pretty freaking good and beautiful. Yeah, especially the remake of that one. No spoilers, still on my list. Hard to avoid spoilers for a game that old. Yeah, that's a classic, played on PS2. Yeah, this is made by the same people that made Ico, right? Or Eco? Those were good games. That was very Japanese styling in terms of like uniqueness and yeah, just experimenting with new ways to experience video games. That team did on the Sony platforms. That was great. Okay, so I do have the Dwarven knowledge now, I think. I hope. That's what we came here for. Ancient knowledge. Knowledge gained from the lexicon gives you a 25% bonus when wearing dwarven armor, and blacksmithing increases 15% faster. So we do just get armor rating bonus from the dwarven armor. We don't get to craft that up higher. Still, that's good. So I think the look that I'm gonna go for this with the dwarven plate. I'm gonna do a quick save here, and I can do some modeling here. It's gonna have to be self-enchanted because for whatever reason the dwarven plate stuff doesn't come with an enchanted variant with that creation. And the dwarven gauntlets. Whoops. Went with the brawlers one. That looks kind of badass, but I think I just like the simplicity of the regular ones. That's kind of cool, though. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Let's just try those on right now, see how that works out. But instead of the Dwemer helm, which is usually very, like, kind of bulky, Gore down there has been modeling it for me all day. Oh, he is modeling the plate stuff, too. Look at that. So I'm gonna go with a purple cloak or a purple cape with the physics, linen, but instead of the big clunky helmet that looks kind of just beefy and chunky, I think I want to do, I'm running the armored circlets mod. This counts as heavy armor on a headpiece, so I want to use that instead. I think that's a pretty cool look. And I don't think I mind the blades on the gauntlets. I think that looks kind of badass, actually. Try this. Not really even a lot of clipping either. There will be for a shield, I think, but I don't know. It might be a bit much. It looks pretty cool. I'll have to deliberate. I'll do that off stream anyway. So, yeah, I think next week I'll either show off the new Dwarven armor with the warrior, or I will show off a new mage or thief character. I have the concepts rattling around in my head. I wanna use ChatGPT to kind of help me organize those a little bit more, and maybe get some concept art and tell me some vignette stories about them to kind of get in the headspace of the character and kind of help flesh them out a little bit. But I might get either the mage or the thief up and running this week, depending on how busy work is. And if I do get one of those, I will favor showing that off instead of just the progression of Fortius here. So yeah, good things coming. Let me catch up on chat here. Not much gameplay, honestly, but pretty dang cool. That's for Hellblade 2. Parasite Eve, I do remember. I've never played that. That was kind of a survival horror, though, right? Kind of something that was inspired from Resident Evil. The Bull Colossus took me forever to beat. Oh, the Shadow of the Colossus. Yeah. Was the Souls of its time, kinda, with big boss fights. Frostbite still has my favorite. I have on 3 engines. One that does. Oh, that's the Assassin's Creed engine, isn't it? And I think maybe is it Battlefield is using Frostbite as well? Need to run. Okay, Acid Rain, Mel, have a good day, okay? Talk to you soon. Yep, Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, The Last Guardian. The Last Guardian, yeah. That one, that was in development hell for a long time, but that is definitely the evolution of Eco. The boots are hideous. Yeah, I don't know what else is gonna go with it. They do look like they provide a lot of armor, that's for sure. I don't know, I'll look around. I do have the Dwarven smithing perk, so I can see what's available to smith up. But this might be what I'm stuck with. It does look very clunky, but this is the next stage in his development. We don't have to stay here for long. Honestly, though, the Orcish stuff isn't much better, and that might be the next step. Actually, Nordic is next, I think. Probably do the plate armor. We have the Nordic carved armor and then the steel plate armor for that one. Surprised I'm still streaming. Yeah, it went a little late. I wanted to finish up this this dungeon. This is the last thing I wanted to do for the stream. Now I'm just kind of catching up on chat and saying goodbye. Should we raid Magus on Twitch? Oh, is Magus streaming right now? Is that why we haven't seen him? Yeah, okay, we can do that. So let me plug everybody here real quick. Let's see, who all has channels here that was here? Mr. B was here earlier. Haster put a link to his Twitch in the description. He does have some technical difficulties right now. I think he got zapped by a power surge or something, so it might be a little while before we see him back online. Who else was here that creates? Not a lot of people. I feel like I gotta be missing somebody, right? I haven't seen Maldaroth. I haven't seen the Wind is probably over with Magus. Strudel, I haven't seen Strudel. Yeah. Oh, Ireshot was here earlier. Ireshot is a great content creator. I'm an Ireshot fan. She's got a lot of modding knowledge, and she's actually working on her own Wabbajack list and maintaining that. Oh yeah, Panicked Monk was here earlier too, and his link is in the description. Ireshot, I'm not sure if I have her link in the description, but let me see if I can find her real quick. Here we go. Yeah, lots of highly modded Skyrim content. She does a lot of modding on stream. So she's working on her own Wabbajack list, but she also uses other Wabbajack stuff, other different mod lists and stuff that she plays through, and she streams all the time. So, oh, thank you, Haster. You beat me to it. You beat me to it, but now there's a double shot of Ireshot's double shot of links there. Yeah, I think that's it. Let me post Magus's link here too. We'll go raid him. Boom shakalaka.
I'm trying to think of something else to put on Okado's recital is what I've...
Yeah, have a good weekend, everybody. Take care. Oh yeah, Bayo's back in action too. Smaller channel.
Yeah, we're gonna need that, right? Spell twice.
Smaller channel, but he does a lot of interesting character concepts, character creation concepts, and he's actually a great resource for modding knowledge too. Bayo. Boom. Leave Bayo a subscription there too. We hang out with him a lot. He's been working on his Valgren. This is probably the dual wield build that he's been asking for stuff. So yep, that's it. I'll hang out with Magus for a little bit. That's where I'll be. Everybody else, take care if I don't see you. Next week is either the mage or Dwarven warrior type stuff. Yeah, getting back into things. Great. Okay, take care, everybody. I'll see you in a week, if not sooner. Bye.